Good evening. Hello. Thanks for joining us again. Damon, how you doing, buddy?
Good, mate. Yourself? How are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good. Been a long week. Been a very long week actually this week. Very long. Sorry, just sit up here. Got my little phone here so I can see that we are actually live. Any comments come on? We are live.
We are live.
Beautiful. So, how have you all been this week? I hope this week has treated you well. Hope you're taking care of your mental fitness. Here we go. Our first comment. We'll put that up because it's our first comment. Jason, how are you, champion? Mate, can always count on you, buddy, to let me know that we're live. Good on you, buddy. We're going to get you on in a couple of weeks, bud. All right, so get ready for that. Definitely going to get you on. So, Damo, what's been happening, bud? What have you been up to?
Not much, man. Not much. As you know, I've been off work with my back, but I got the all clear to go back to work on Monday.
Oh, sensational, mate. Awesome.
So
beautiful.
I'll be back on work on Monday with I can only lift 10 kilos, can't really do a whole lot, but I'm back.
That's something, mate. You're back. That's the main thing. You're back.
Yeah.
How is it? Not feeling too bad?
Usual aches and pains. It's just what happens when you get old, mate.
Preaching to the choir, champion. Preaching to the choir. Preaching to the choir. Oh, my God. Anyway.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Oh, look, our guest is sitting there saying, hi, boys. Hi, Anne-Marie. We'll be on soon. We'll get you. Hey?
Who's Anne-Marie?
Sorry. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Mary Ann is waiting in the waiting room for us. So that's better. We don't. Yeah, her name. It might say Anne-Marie, but we know her as Mary Ann. So.
Mary Ann.
Mary Ann.
And also, we've got about 9 o'clock or so. I know he's watching. We got Petey Boy coming on.
Oh yeah, beautiful, sweet.
I know he's there.
What are we going to talk about with him?
Well, first off, we've got oh man, I had a mind blank. No, addiction is the first one, and then we're going to talk. What's the next one? What's the second one after that?
Self-importance, I think. So something around self-importance. So
self-importance.
We may even touch on that with Mary Ann as well. So I can't believe it. The first time tonight she's on, and I'm calling her by her real name. Bullfed. Anyway.
We're off to a good start, aren't we?
Great start. Oh, it's always a good start, always. So we're just going to get the cobwebs off and we'll be right. Hey, Ria, thanks for joining, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, Ria.
We just got here. Jason, Michelle's leg, mate. Cheers. It's getting better very, very slowly, mate. She's still in a lot of pain. And it's just still swollen and it's, nice and purple color now. So, yeah, it's she was struggling with the crutches this week, so I've had to go out and hire her one of those what's it called, a knee scooter or a knee wheeler, something, I don't know. It's awesome. She's now scooting around the house on it now, so she's loving it. So doesn't feel so demobilized, and she can actually get around and without having to hobble around everywhere. So thanks, bud. Thanks for asking. Should we just get into this or what?
Hey, hold on. You missed the most important start, mate. What are you grateful for this week?
What am I grateful for? Of course. What am I grateful for?
You'll get it one day, buddy.
I'll get it one day. I've just got so many things going through my brain. Seriously, it's a wonder we got on time tonight. It really is. For me, I can't say health again because it was last week, but it's always health. But my family, my family. I'm very grateful for my family. They just, my mum's not doing too well at the moment. She's a bit sick. So shout out to you, Mum. Love you. Hope you get well soon. But yeah, just my family and my friends. You know what I mean? I'm just so blessed at the moment to be really surrounded by some great people, and I just really feel blessed with the people that are in my life, mate. So
That's good.
That's me. What about you, champion?
Look, along the same line as you, mate. Family and everything like that. My mum had an operation yesterday, and everything's all good. So I'm grateful that everyone's happy and healthy. And Amy's old man had a bit of a scare. He had short breath and temperature and things like that, and it was looking like it was corona for a bit there. But he got the swab up the nose and everything like that, and he's all good.
He's all good.
He's all good.
Yeah, so lovely. Thank goodness, eh? Yeah, relief, huh?
Big time, because old man Bruce, Amy's dad, he's been through the wars, mate, and he's one top-notch fella. So luckily, he's still around with us. He's on the road to recovery. He's getting healthier by the day, which is a good thing.
Oh, good.
So
Awesome,
that's
mate.
what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for happy, healthy family and friends.
That's the way. Beautiful. I've just realised that I haven't turned the lights on. So hang on.
Oh, mate, he's on a roll.
Got off to a good start. Oh, not really, with all my little mucking around. That's better. Now I was wondering, like, why am I so dark in the background?
Can't but now there's more reflection coming off your head. So
yeah, see that. Well, it's a fresh shave, so I've got to show it off somehow. So
good. That's good.
Perfect. All right. Well, hang on. Where we got? We'll get to a couple more.
Hi, Christy. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Kirsty. Hey, Jay Hall. I know you're there too, buddy. How you going, champion? My very good friend. And Timmy boy. How you going, mate? Thanks for joining tonight. Appreciate that. Hang on. What's he got here?
He told you.
Yeah. Should I turn it back off?
Well, you can turn them all off and we can just not see you. That'll be all right.
I just make sure, I told just before we came on air, I told Damien, just got to check all the power's switched on this week. Power cord's in, that's on, that computer's all good, right? So we should be sweet tonight. So bear with me. I'm trying my best.
First off, hi Amelia. Hope you're doing well, my dear, and I hope your thoughts are going well with you. And shout out straight off your mum. Hi Shannon, how are you, darling?
Yeah. Hey mum, how are you? Thanks for joining, mum. Hope you're in bed, nice and cozy and relaxing, chilling back, watching us two bullheads, and we're going to have a Rose come between us in a minute. So she might be on the outside. I might even try, what I'm going to do? I'm going to put her in the middle. So I'll get rid of you, I'll bring her on, then I'll put you on the outside, right? So she can be in the middle of us both, all right? I'll do that. Hang on, what have we got here? We got another. I had the COVID swab twice, boys, after multiple infections. Both came back negative. Oh, nice, bud. It wasn't bad at all. Anyone's sick and wondering. Yeah, that's it. Good advice, Timmy. Good advice, mate. Yeah, that's it. If you're not feeling up, if you're not feeling right, something you're just not sure, just go and get it done. It's it's not very pleasant, I've heard, but it's better than the alternative. So just go get checked, guys. If you're not feeling too well, just go and get checked. So
just quickly before I get off on the main things, I was talking to Ryan earlier tonight. I saw on the news tonight that they've well, I don't know what the word for it is exactly at the moment, but this scheme has been approved by the government. $48 million is being put into mental health, and that's all different types of things tonight. So what they were talking about mainly was domestic abuse and things like that. There is a whole underlying thing, a whole bunch of it that's there. But I sent some notes to our group that we've got, and these people who are in domestic violence are being moved out, and they're moving into their own self-contained apartments with other people that have suffered the same thing. And I just thought it was a really great thing. Finally, something is being moved forward and something has happened. So that's a bit cool.
Any money that is invested into mental health is money well spent, as far as I'm concerned. So that is just a thumbs up. I don't, not very political, but, you know, good on your government. Awesome. That's a really good initiative. So thank you.
Cheers to that.
I think it does deserve a cheers, mate. So cheers to everybody with that one. Cheers. Well done. That's a win. We've got to take these little wins. That's a win. We just got to keep those wins now. So that's.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze?
He reach out.
He's back. Okay, good.
What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? We're all good. We're still here.
Yeah, you just look like one of the Pixel Planet. That's all.
Oh, come on, God. You can come on, mate. Where are you? Hang on. I see, because he's hiding. See? All right, I'll ring him out.
All right.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Just remember those numbers down the bottom, okay? Very important numbers. All right, I'm going to get rid of you for a sec. And
oh, hey, I'm here.
There she is.
Woo!
There she is. Marianne. This is the famous Marianne that we
I am Marianne. Unless you ask my mother, then she's like, it's Anne Marie, but she's not here tonight. All right.
Yes. Mary, aka Marianne, but you'll always be Marianne. Oh, look, I don't know. Shut up, Ron.
Yeah, it's since Paul uttered that horrible name in class, like 9 months ago. It's been longer than that now. Marianne is who I am. It's part of my identity. It's how I feel. Always.
Can I just quickly give a quick shout out to my mate Nathan Smith, Smitty, champion. Thank you for joining, mate. I'm so glad you're here tonight with us, buddy. Good on you, buddy. Hang around, mate. Hope you get something out of tonight. Okay, so hang on, Mum. Just quickly have a look at this. Mum runs a domestic violence group on Facebook.
Yeah, which is needed, especially at this time.
Very, very much so. And I'm pretty sure I've got that domestic. Yeah, there it is. They just lent them the 1-800 respect number. Just going across the bottom of the screen there, so don't forget that.
What we'll do for Shannon is we'll put a link to the Facebook page up on Facebook.
Yeah, that's good. I'm quite interested in having a bit of a look at that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get her to send me that link, Mum. If you can just send me that link in a private message or something, and or even just the name of it, and I'll look it up, and I'll try to do all that technical stuff for you.
In other words, Michelle.
Ask Michelle, Ask Michelle.
You don't know me too well. Yeah, Michelle will put that on for you. Okay, so awesome, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, she's even said, "Look, thanks, mate."
Yeah.
Okay.
That thanks, mate, was for me, but it's all right. No
worries.
It
was for you. I'll take it. I'll take it. You know? I'll take it.
All right, so addiction.
All right, let's go. Addiction.
Oh, here we go. No, your mum's put it up now. Central Coast Sisterhood.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Check it out on Facebook, guys. Central Coast Sisterhood. Check it out. It's she talks about it often, and there's a lot of people that are suffering up here, especially on the Central Coast. Yeah. So check it out and have a look and see what we can do to support that. All right, so take 2. All right. Addiction.
Oh, the big A.
The big A.
Yeah.
I'll ask you both. But I'm going to go first because I'm first here.
It's your page.
Addiction. What do you consider to be an addiction? Like what does addiction mean to you? And I've got something written here. I'm probably going to steal yours, Damien, because we listened to a fantastic podcast during the week. Shared it with Damien. My mate Jay shared it with me, and I passed it on to Damien. And it's Tony Robbins interviews Russell Brand. Guys, if you don't know who Russell Brand is, you've really got to start checking. I mean, everyone knows Russell Brand, but you probably don't know him now. You knew him back when he was a crazy nutter. He is so not like that anymore. He has really cleaned his life up, and he's writing books. He's doing self-help things now. He's really turned his life around so that he can help other people. So I encourage you to get onto Tony Robbins' podcast and search for the one with Russell Brand. Such a good hour and a half spent. I'm telling you, if you just sit there and listen to it, it's gold. He's got a really good book out at the moment called Recovery. It is just I haven't read it yet, but I've heard it is absolute gold. So that'll be the next book that I endeavour.
Yeah, I've put it on my
read.
list for reading.
Good, do that. Awesome. So he says, addiction. I've got my notes. I've got my notes here, my post-it notes. So I didn't stuff this up because I really don't want to stuff this up. So I'm not, I don't want to muck around with it. So I actually wrote it down. Hopefully I can get the word out properly. An addiction is a habit or pattern or behavior that you keep repeating that you would like to stop, but you just can't. That's what an addiction is to me. That's something that those habits or that one thing that in other cases it's more than one thing. It's that thing that that you should stop, and it's not good for you, but you just can't do it. It's just too hard. What do you think? I'll go to you, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, I was thinking on the same lines. It's just, for addiction to me, it's just something that is bad. Well, there are good addictions, health addictions and running, but that's bad for me. But it's just, something that you just can't give up. Like, I always tell people, oh yeah, I'm quitting smoking, or I'm going to quit smoking, but that's been for 5 years. I can go 4 days, I can't give it up. So I start again and I feel bad. I'm like, I've got to stop. But it's a compulsion. Yeah, it's a compulsion. Yeah. I have to go outside. I need that cigarette when I wake up. At TAFE, we're on a break. I have to have a smoke. It becomes part of my routine.
It's that stress relief sort of thing.
It's just something I can't stop.
Yeah, it makes you comfortable. It's that thing that sort of gives you that sense of normality. If that's it's become my new normal. I've been doing it for 11 years. It's kind of what I am. And I was just having a look. If you look at the notes with Tim's one, that's sometimes how I feel. Like, I know it's hurting. I should stop. My breathing's not good. My mum hates it, but I can't. Yeah. But you can't stop. That's it. Yeah. What about you, Damo?
Look, I agree with half of that. I don't see addiction being just for the bad things, though, because for example, you all guys all know, to help me with my day-to-days, I do my models, and my models are an addiction to me.
Okay.
Being in the kitchen and cooking is another addiction for me. I used to smoke. Now I'm just on the vape. Now, vaping is not so much of an addiction, just a habit. I don't have to vape. I don't even think about it most of the time. Yeah. But when I'm sitting here having a talk with you guys, I won't even notice that I'll pick it up and have a drag. Or, addiction
like muscle memory.
Yeah, almost, in a sense. Addiction is bad, but they'll also have to remember that, like Michelle's comment, not all addiction is a bad thing.
I'll tell you, this one, mate, she addicted to tea. Whew.
And
could be worse.
They say that the two most addictive things in the world is caffeine and sugar.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, see, mine's with Coke. Sugar. Mine's with Coke. You mix the caffeine and the sugar together. You remember me at TAFE, I always had 1 or 2 bottles on my table.
I do remember that. I do.
Yeah.
And I mean, just so the bad addictions is what I think we're going to talk about more than anything, which is like drugs, for example. They're bad addictions, but some people fall into the, I don't know, they form their addiction into relying on that addiction.
So it becomes a reliant. Yeah.
Whenever you have a bad day and you're like, oh, geez, the only thing I just need a cigarette, and you go out and you don't, just because the cigarette has released the nicotine into your brain, that makes you feel better. Nothing else has gotten any better. Yeah. It just releases that stress release, or so you think, into your brain, and the nicotine is what calms you down.
Well, that's what they talk about in the podcast, that it's like, it's that thing that's sort of just, that gives you that normality, that gives you that sense of relief, You know, even though it is bad for you, it gives you that sense of, oh, okay, this is normal for me. You know what I mean? But even though it's not, but it's what the habit has become. The habit has become the normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a creature of habit. I've got to wake up. I've got to have a cigarette, have a break. Yeah.
We all are. We've all got addictions.
Yeah. And I always wasn't like that. But it's the habit of doing that has now become an addiction. When I don't have the cigarettes, it breaks my habit, it breaks my routine. And as Damien said, once I have that cigarette, everything's fine. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I've solved the problem, but I haven't.
The only way to get over your addiction to cigarettes is to break your routine.
Yeah.
And that is the only
I'm at home 13 hours a day by myself. It's very hard to break it.
You need to put something in place of that thing. So, for example, first thing when you get up in the morning, instead of going out and have a cigarette, make yourself some toast.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And then you replace one action with another action, and then you counteract that previous action. So I know it's easy for us to sit here and talk about, but I can guarantee. And, you know, Australian culture, have a drink.
Yeah.
A lot of people sit there and have a cigarette with their drinks. Or, you know, you have too many drinks and you're like, no, I'm never drinking. How many times have you said, both of you, how many times have you gone, I am never drinking again. I am not doing it. And then 2 weeks later, yeah, right, let's have a drink. Come on, man. And
2 weeks. Couple of days.
I'm not a big drinker. I'm very lucky. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker.
You know, like, but you know where I'm coming from? Like, really?
Yeah, see, I'm lucky. I'm not a really big drinker. My last big drink was a TAFE Christmas party, and that was enough. That was enough.
That was a good one. I remember that one.
But I live with someone who's never touched alcohol, so that is not in my house. It's not around.
So if it's not alcohol, then for you, Anne-Marie, it's Coke.
Yeah, it's soft drink in general.
There you go.
We don't have any soft drink in the house. I'm going a bit nuts. I've got my pine lime cordial, and I will go through a large amount of that because there's sugar in it.
So you've got sugar addiction.
I've heard this one from my mum since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Oh, I've heard it from my mum and grandparents since I was a teenager.
It's very true. So there you go.
But to go on to with it, the actual definition of an addiction is stop it, Ryan. Stop. The actual definition for addiction is, and I've done my research here, addiction is a brain disorder.
He's more prepared than I am.
Addiction is a brain disorder characterized by a compulsive engagement in rewarding stimuli despite adverse consequences.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Hey, that's a good one. Look at you. I love it when you do research. I love it. I absolutely love it.
This is going to be soon enough. This is going to be. Let's talk it out with Damien. We'll just.
You can already is becoming that, mate.
That's to see me.
We've talked about addictions, right? We talked about the different. I mean, there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's gambling. There's eating addictions. There's not not eating, all those sorts of things, right? And prescription drugs as well. I had a question that we overlooked Wednesday night. A question came through from a friend of mine, Stephanie, and she asked, and I've tried to do the research on this, and I did, but I sort of didn't. So I'm going to try and off the cuff it.
It's going to end well.
What is the difference between an addiction and a dependence?
Oh, I saw that.
If you depend on something, you need something for, like, say, your physical health, or compared to an addiction that's sort of, again, it's the mind saying, no, I need it. I need this to be normal. Otherwise, if I don't drink, or if I don't take this drug, or if I don't, do whatever, I can't be normal. What is the difference between that addiction and a dependence?
Okay, so without even thinking about it, from just off the cuff, like usual, the dependence is something that it says it in its word. It's something that you're dependent on, that you can't live without, right?
Mhm.
Like, for example, everybody's the same in this respect. That's why I use it. Oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
good
something
one.
that we are all dependent on, because without it,
Yep.
you're dead, right? For example, for both of you, cigarettes and smoking, it's not that you're dependent on it. It's that the addictive urge is pushed by your brain and your body so much that you are now thinking about it as a dependency rather than it being an addiction. And things like painkillers, for example, it's not that you're addicted to the painkillers, you're addicted to the feeling that you get from them to stop the pain.
Yeah, well, as Shannon said, painkillers for chronic pain.
Well, there you go.
I find
didn't
it
say
very, she's just put it through. I see that's where it throws me. I'm like, because I come from a nursing background, I know a lot of people that depend on it so they can get up, but there is that fine line when it becomes an addiction.
It is true. I understand that, but it is not the actual substance that you are addicted to. It's the feeling that you're addicted to.
Yeah.
The substance is a byproduct to what your brain interprets as feelings.
Okay.
I just want to quickly come back to this one, just quickly, numbing it. Now, to me, that's just masking your problem. If you're taking drugs or you're drinking alcohol, or you're doing that addictive thing to numb the pain, to me, you're not learning how to actually deal with the problem. You're just masking it. And by, if you go out and if I'm feeling really down, I'm feeling really bad, I'll have a drink or I'll take a drug or I'll have a smoke of something or I'll do, have a smoke of some pot or something like that. You're not actually dealing with the problem. You're only just masking it, and you're clouding your judgment on it, and it takes for about maybe about an hour or a couple of hours, maybe if you're lucky it'll take away that pain.
Yeah.
But you're not actually dealing with it. Yeah. That pain will come back. So you've just and to me you're actually enhancing it too, because you just, instead of you're suppressing it, you're not actually getting rid of it. It's not. You're not dealing with it at all. You're just I can't deal with this now, so I'll have a smoke, or I'll have a drink, or I'll have something to sort of take away the pain, numb my pain, but eventually that comes back around.
Yeah, so and it comes back tenfold. It comes back worse. I know with me, let's say about 10 years ago, between, when I was about 18, I was going through some stuff and alcohol numbed it. I didn't feel it.
Yep.
It was great. But I don't think I was dependent, and I didn't get addicted to it. But it just, the feeling of being numb was nice.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's your addiction.
Yeah.
That's
your addiction.
There you go.
So you're not dependent on the alcohol or the substance or whatever you're doing. You're addicted to the feeling that you get as a byproduct from that product.
Yeah.
And so Nicole's got one up here.
Yeah, I saw that one. Let's get to that one.
What about anxiety medication, regular one-a-day medication? Now, look, that's a different story, because your regular one-a-day medications, you're not addicted to them. You are dependent on them.
Yeah.
But I have to intervene with a but. Yes, it's a dependence that you do need to get through your day. And anxiety medication, I've been there before. I know what it does help. But you can, like anything, an addiction can form from that, from constant. If I don't have this pill today, I'm going to feel, oh my God, no, I can't even think about not having it. No, I have to. And that's how an addiction starts.
Yeah, that's how I felt with my ADHD medication.
Hold on. I think you're getting cross-wired there, buddy, because is that an addiction or is that a dependence?
Well, again, that's what I wanted. That's actually, look, I do remember one thing from my little research today from the definitions between both. It's a very, very, I'm going to put my hand in it. It's a very fine line. They even said it online. It's a very fine line between addiction and dependence, right? So, I mean, we all have addictive personalities, every single one of us. And, and it's that fine line. If you can distinguish between, like Nicole, clearly, all right, you're talking about it, so maybe you do need, and that's fine. Everyone needs something, you know what I mean? And keep doing it. If it is helping, please keep doing it. Don't listen to this buffet. If you need it, keep doing it. All I'm saying
we're not
to you
medical
is,
professionals.
no, we are not
Disclaimer.
medical professionals. I'm sitting here having a drink myself, so I'm not a medical professional. But all I'm saying to you is, it's a fine line between a dependence that you need to get you to take, for a pain relief, but then that dependence, if abused, like anything, can turn turn in. So there's that fine line. So
as I was saying to you, Ryan, the other day, so I have ADHD. I was put on dextroamphetamine. I never got to Ritalin, but I know that a lot of the children that used to go down for their midday tablet, well, there's two that I can off the cuff. Their dependence, well, not dependence, but their need for the Ritalin, then went on to a dependency, then went on to an addiction, and then they've obviously in adult life supplemented a lot of it. And I know that they both have had issues with drugs. And this is a 20-year history of starting with the medication to supplementing it with other things.
So I've for Nicole, this is just for her, so I'm going to single her out for a bit. If you don't have your regular 1-a-day anxiety medication, say you don't take it for a day, how badly does it affect you? Does your mind tear itself apart? Are you dependent on that pill if you don't take it in the morning? Just a general question. What happens? I don't suggest that you stop taking them at all. Take them if they help you. Fine, go for it. But I just really am interested to find out, if you don't take that medication, what happens? Just a quick.
Let us know. And in the meantime, I think this goes out to not just us, but it goes out to everyone who's watching. Because I haven't. No, Jay. I know it's coming from you. No, I haven't. But I want to read about it, and I want to read Russell Brand's, because as you were saying in the podcast, a lot of people, because recovery is a massive part of, clearly, okay, and it's how we recover and all that sort of stuff. And it was said in the podcast that the old model of the 12. I mean, it's still there. He does, he runs by the old model, but the old model of the 12 steps. But it's the wording. The wording of the 12 steps can be enough to sort of turn people off. Like the way it's worded. I haven't got anything written down here, but yeah, it's the old jargon written down. And that has, I know that it's turned people off in the past because of those, the big words and the strong words to leading to a certain way. And what Russell does, he breaks it down into Russell language. So, it makes it understandable for people like us, for our generation, and other, like it's not sort of, 1900s. Sort of, you know what I mean? He's now broken it down. But again, I keep plugging that book. You've got to read that book. Has Nicole gone back to us? She has.
Yeah, she's got back, yeah.
Okay, so I'm an overthinker, and stopping it suddenly causes other issues like nausea and vomiting, etc. So your nausea and vomiting, is that caused by not taking it, or is that caused by you being an overthinker? See, this is what I'm trying to get at here. There's a cascading effect if you break your every day-to-day routine. Now, I remember back way when, before I was with my wife and everything like that, and I was smoking, and I remember if I went for any period of time without having a cigarette in my mouth, I felt like absolute crap. And I needed that. I needed that cigarette, just something to do.
Yeah. I've been there, done that.
And everyone's been in that situation. So it's a cascading effect, because if I didn't have one, then my next step was it made me feel sick and I felt nauseous. And isn't it funny, if you don't have a cigarette for a long time, you start really coughing. like you're coughing. You have a cigarette, fine, you're not coughing anymore.
Yeah.
So that cascade effect is definitely something to add into the mix of dependency, addiction, and also another one, codependency.
Codependency, yeah, I like that, definitely.
Yeah, we've got that codependency.
Yeah.
It's all snowball effect, and everything starts at the top, and it starts with, unfortunately, an addictive routine that people build up for themselves.
Yeah.
Jason's got a good one. I'll just go up. I'll come back to yours, Jason. I just wanted to, Tim's ahead of you here. I just wanted to read this one. He defines dependency as something such as a prescribed medication, which he's on heaps, which cause withdrawals and serious illness by stopping abruptly. Well, yeah, there you go. Addiction would be increased. Yeah. So, again, that fine line, you know what I mean? It's that fine line.
It is a very fine line. It's a very, as you said, there's not much between it, but there is definitely a difference. It's hard to determine the difference sometimes, but I mean,
it is hard, exactly. And people could use, I don't want to say addict, but an addict could use that excuse. Oh no, I need it. It's my dependent. And we, as an addict, you sort of make not excuses, but you sort of you try to justify why why this is, I need this. But I mean, Tim's thing is completely different. You know what I mean? So again, that's why there's that fine line. You know what I mean? So good one, Timmy. You got anything else to add to that?
Not really. I'm just standing here like, huh?
Well, I've got a really good one. Jason's got a really, really good one. So
I was having to think about that.
I agree with this one. Now, look, these things are pretty much the root of everyone's evil right now at the moment. Yeah. And I was having this conversation tonight at dinner, actually, or just after dinner. So I know everybody's opinion on this is a little bit different, but I'll throw it out to the group like we do with everything. Giving a device to a very young child to shut them up.
Hell no. No.
That's where it all begins.
Sorry, I get real passionate about that, and I'm like, nah. Like, I've seen kids like in the shops, and they're having a tantrum, and the mum's on the phone, and she just hands them an iPad from nowhere, like, here you go. And I'm like, no, obviously the kid's in distress. Talk, communicate. Like, I think my parents would have loved for me to have an iPad as a kid just to shut me up.
It's that numbing mechanism. Here, instead of me dealing with the problem, here, have this, and shut up. So you're not actually dealing with the problem. As soon as you take that iPad or that phone away, that problem's going to come back again. So you haven't actually, you've just mastered. So,
I'm going to disclaim, I don't have any children, so I don't know how hard it is to, like, I've worked in childcare, but that's a small period of a child's life in a day. But I don't get it. Obviously,
hard work.
Yeah, see, I don't have that understanding just yet, but I see them all the time, and it just frustrates me. It's like, talk to your kid, communicate. Like, what long-term damage are you doing to children by here's a screen?
Yeah, and it's not even that too. They know if they chuck a hissy fit or chuck a tantrum, that's how I get what I want. Yeah. That's how, if I do this, if I cause a scene, if I carry on,
if they throw a tanty.
Yeah, I know. It's called a tanty, mate. My kids are the best ones, mate, and they live up to their name, tanty. They chuck a tanty. Especially my youngest one. And that's just here you go.
He's the Saints. You do not talk about my Caleb. I was going to say my Caleb like that. That kid is a misunderstood saint.
Good evening, Pete. How are you, champion? Look, and just getting back to Timmy's sort of giving us an answer there. I know Tim has dealt with a lot of stigma over the years, you know what I mean? And it sucks, and that's what this thing is all about. That's why we do these videos. That's why we gather together on a Friday night, is to break that stigma down, and it's it's still out there clearly, but I mean, worse the past. But I think, especially with this $48 million tonight, I
think it's a godsend. Like, but my issue is, why couldn't they have cracked that money out years ago? If you've got 48 million sitting there, where was it when we needed it beforehand?
Yeah.
Like, I know that we're in the middle of a pandemic, but we shouldn't have to wait for a pandemic to all of a sudden, oh yeah, we have all this money we didn't tell you about. Oh, mental health's making the government look bad. Here's money. I just hope it's used appropriately. That's just coming from me.
Yeah. See, look, the 48 million is going to be a great thing, right? But before we move forward with that, talking about things that we're talking about, kids with phones, adults with phones, Facebook, Instagram. I'm old, so I don't know any of the other ones. Snapchat, whatever that is.
Snapchats and TikToks, and I don't know.
TikTok's not bad because it gives people.
I was just going to say, Damien loves his TikTok.
See, I've never heard of it before until now, and I was like, I know there was a thing called Musically back in the day. I don't know.
My wife is addicted to it, so I say it all. It's hilarious, actually. But look, so all that type of stuff, and that involves kind of what we were talking about last week as well.
Yeah.
Because it involves not only addiction, not only dependency, not only codependency in a sense, not only all that other crap, plus it falls under bullying and it falls under everything. So really, as we were talking about last week, this social media thing that the whole world seems to be addicted in right now, that's an addiction, because social media is an addiction. And that is probably the biggest addiction out of them all.
What's the first thing you do when you hear your phone buzz?
Yeah, everybody. I got a Facebook app.
Exactly. You got to check it. You know what I mean? And that's just.
Or someone's commented, or you've been tagged in something. Oh, I need to know what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yep, okay, yep, cool, yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's right.
It's the biggest one. But look, Tim, if what you're on now is working back and you're not is working, you don't need to go up and you search for a higher dosage or anything like that. And you're cool with what you're on, then dude, stick with what you're on, man. Because if it's working for you, it's working for you. And
I like this comment here. It's the when it stops, it
stopped or reduced real physical discontinuation symptoms. Yeah, of course it does, because your body physically becomes, now this is a dependent on the medication that you're taking. And it's like with any medication. If you, like for me, for example, I've got my back problem. If I stop taking my painkillers, mate, the pain that I am in, I can't even walk. And I know in my mind that when my physio needs out the problems, then I'm not going to need my painkillers anymore because I won't be in pain.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. That some people will get dependent, will love that feeling of what those pills do, and
too much.
Oh, my back. How come you're still taking those pills? Your back's fine. Your back's been fine for. Oh no! I just no, it's still playing up a bit. Again, you'll just try to justify.
It's a bit like was it like psychosomatic? Like without the tablet, my head's telling me it's going to hurt.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah. Timmy. There you go. Look, exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But look, Tim, it's good to see that you're doing well, mate, and thank you for helping clarify with others, man. Really appreciate it, and thank you. It's good to see that you're doing well, buddy.
Good on you, Timmy. Thanks for joining in, mate.
Yeah.
And Peter's comment, the next one down.
Oh, Pete, don't! You're gonna. I can't do it, Pete.
See, I agree with him, mate. I could totally agree with him. You know what? I think I would actually literally die of a heart attack if I got a written letter in the mail. I actually think I would die.
See, but I get excited now when I get mail. I'm like, because my grandmother, before she passed, was big on the sending of letters. I have a great aunt who still sends birthday cards like a month beforehand, so it's not late. And I get so excited. I open it up, I see Auntie Jo's handwriting, and open it up, and there's always a bit of like a little note inside, and it means more than my cousin going, "Oh yeah, hey, happy birthday, have a good day, hope it was great."
Yeah.
But I'm guilty of that. I sent one to Ryan. Yeah, happy birthday, mate. Just hope everything's all right. That was it.
The quality. I rang you for your birthday. The quality is right here, buddy. Thank you.
I didn't even have Ryan's number, so he got what I got.
You can call him on Facebook. No excuses there.
Oh. All right.
Oh, here we go. Letter writing is it?
A
Did you
lost
mean
art.
lost?
Yeah, she wrote lost underneath.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to call your mum out. That's just terrible, mate. Terrible.
That's the same. But like even the handwriting these days, I look at letters that my nan and like her sisters wrote to each other, and I look at this handwriting, and it's the beautiful cursive, and it's lovely. I look like I'm a caveman, like digging in the dirt trying to write symbols down.
Yeah.
Handwriting's gone.
I call it the tradie handwriting. Just quickly.
Man.
Done. That's it.
Well, when I started nursing, we had to do hand notes. They now type them up. But I remember having to write my first set of progress notes for a patient, and they're like, "Why are you taking so long?" And I'm like, just trying to make sure everything was neat and legible, and my spelling correct because my phone has spell check on it.
See?
And I went, "Oh, I've got a problem." And I went to my mum. I'm like, "I've got a problem."
This is the problem.
I'm 23 years old, and I can't spell.
See, I went to school with kids, right, who were basically illiterate, and English was their first language.
Yeah.
You see, so, and I think to myself, hold on, I'm not the best speller. I'm not the most articulate person in the world. I mean, I can talk. I have a good vocabulary. I know how to spell things but nowhere near where I think my mother or my father would have been at this age, because everything for them was like, I remember my mum. Well, I remember my mum telling stories about using the ink pots and getting the ruler over the fingers when she wasn't writing correctly enough. And I'm like, fuck, I can't even imagine that. But it's just insane. And to think that the future, our future, rests on the shoulders of these children or these young people.
A lot of pressure.
It's a bit scary, to be honest with you.
Well, I question what's going on in schools. Like I'm 28,
public school
and okay. So I got diagnosed with ADHD, and I spent a lot of time kicked out of class. I lost a lot of basic stuff. But then as I went to high school, and then I went to 3 different high schools, no one picked up that there was a problem. I sat my HSC, and God knows how they read my English papers.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I went and sat the HSC, and I couldn't get what was in here down to paper. And
that was my problem.
Yeah.
I sat through my ancient history test, and I knew it. I know it like the back of my hand. I know it 100%.
Yeah.
But I couldn't put it down on paper. And I had on my HSC marks, I got in like single-digit mark. And my teacher came to me and said, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Well, this is what happened." So luckily I got to reset my test. But things like that, kids won't accept help. They won't go and seek help. They won't look for help nowadays. And
I was ashamed, and I thought someone's going to turn around and bully me because I'm an idiot. And then, but then you explain to teachers with me, I'm like, "Oh, I have ADHD." "Oh, no, you don't." And it's like, all right, well, I'll stop telling you that then, because it doesn't end well for me. Like Ryan will know last year, my first class with the teacher that we had, I said, "Oh, I'm going to struggle a bit because I have ADHD." And I don't even know what he said. He made some like comment and they laughed. Set me off. I was like, "That's it. I'm quitting."
Yeah,
it was our second day of class. And I was like, "No, I'm out because I'm obviously too stupid to be here."
So I had to come running out of class. No, please come back.
Yeah.
Just come back. Give him a chance. Give him a chance there. People don't know what they say sometimes. And again, it's another coping mechanism.
Yeah. I told teachers in high school that I was struggling. I had the same English teacher for 3 out of my 6 years. She couldn't care. She's like, "I'll just do what you do. Don't worry about it. No one cares. Just be all right."
And now you've started me. Now you've started me, because that is the problem with public schooling. Yeah. And I'll fight anybody tooth and nail on this subject, because I know for a fact that what they teach in these public schools, private schools, it doesn't matter where you go or how much money your parents spend on you. It is under a base curriculum, and it is stupid. It is absolutely stupid. How many hours did you guys spend in school being droned into about algorithms and arithmetic, and dividing and all this useless crap that you just don't need to use. Like, what? I just don't get it. I know that if I sat down with a child and gave me 24 hours or a full school day to teach them something that was actually useful, they would walk away with more use from me in a full school day than they would sitting with those government-paid jokers who think, look, I'm not saying that they don't work hard, but I am saying that if you stick to the curriculum that is handed to you by the government, you're failing children. And that is it. Anyway, let's not look. Ryan,
this could be a whole different class.
It will completely.
I made a whole different session of this. Like,
I like that. Class is a good word. Class is in session, children.
Amelia's comment. Yeah,
I agree with Amelia's comment, and a big shout out. Look, we'll just take a little intimate here and just say thanks. Just pure out thanks, Ryan, for everything you do, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for getting us talking.
It's all again, and it's all of us. It's everyone posting these comments, and it's it's so good.
Stop trying to be so humble and just take the thing.
Take a moment, man. Like brush off your shoulders.
All right, thank you. Look, I appreciate it. I really do. And I, it means a lot that everyone keeps messaging me during the week again. But in my mind, we do it together. I may have started this. I may have given everyone a forum, but you guys or everyone have taken off with it. You know what I mean? So it's, thank you for all the kudos. But guys, thank yourselves. Pat yourselves on the back, because this is why I set it up for. I set it up to give you guys a voice, to give you guys a place to have a voice, and to come and I wanted to create a safe environment for everybody. And I really feel 8 weeks in, I can't believe it, that we've created that space, that safe place. Everyone, I mean, people are telling me that they hang out for it. I can't believe that.
I can't wait. I love Friday night chats.
It's awesome,
Look, mate, and I believe this is the same. Sorry, I got too close there. This is the same for everybody. You may have started this. You may have done this for everybody else to have a good, not a quiet place ever since I started on here, but a nice place to have a conversation, to feel like Kane has just put up there, like to feel like you're accepted, to feel like you have somewhere safe you can come and talk, be a bit of an idiot, laugh, have a drink, just somewhere to chill on a Friday night. You've accomplished that, and from all of us, everybody that watches, all the millions and millions of subscribers that you've got, thank you from all of us. Really appreciate it, buddy. And we all truly do love you.
Yeah, we love you, Tansy.
And I feel it. I feel the love, and I love you all right back. Love you all. Love you all, and that. These are all awesome,
All right.
So, look, I just wanted,
I'll be a bit self-indulgent. I'll be a bit self-indulgent. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Kane. You forgot to ring me on Wednesday, champ. Thanks, mate. But you made up for it tonight, so thanks, buddy.
That's good.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, but I just wanted to jump back up to Amelia's comment. Amelia is, I'm going to say it here, and she's going to get all embarrassed, but she is one of the smartest, brightest, talentedest. See, English has failed me once again.
The most smartest.
She is an extremely bright person, and that's what I get the hope from the school system for, is that you do have those couple of kids that just, they come through and they shine.
Okay, let me interject right there. It's got nothing to do with her schooling. It's got to do with her two beautiful parents.
Oh, yeah. The Tansies do a good job. They do a good job.
And where do they get it from? They get it from the old school parenting that they copped from their parents. And it goes on and on and on. You know what I mean? Now, I met Amelia years and years and years ago, before she was knee-high to a grasshopper. Yeah. And she truly is a smart kid, a beautiful girl, and she is a wonderful, wonderful person. And she gets that from her mum and dad. Yeah. So it's got nothing to do with her schooling system, mate. Let me tell you, it's got all to do with her parents and her separate personality. And see, thank you,
Yeah, she's like, because she has mentioned, and she mentioned that she's going through some things, and I honestly say, stick with it. You are so much better. Yeah, you are so much better than what people say to you.
Yeah. I've said it to her so many times, that's people, like we talked about it last week with the bullying, people only try and drag you down if you're doing a better job than they are at life.
And as I mentioned, I've been the bully. And
I've been the bully too.
That's 100%. You make me feel bad. You make me feel stupid. I'm going to bring you down to my level. And it's upsetting that someone like Amelia has to go through that on a regular basis.
It is. It's very upsetting. But I know deep down she is strong enough. Okay, she does have her days where she struggles with it. But again, we all do. We all struggle with, whether it be addictions or whether it be bullying or, anxiety, depression, anything. We all deal with these sort of mental health issues on a daily basis, and what you need is people around you, the right people around you to sort of bring you back up, So again, more reasons why I created this.
We've got this beautiful little village now that has come together, and we've got all these people that work together great and do everything. I mean, you have a look. Obviously, Kane and Tim know each other.
Yeah, we all went to school together, so I'll just quickly. And that's the thing, look, this comment. Kane never comes on Facebook ever. I don't know. I'm not going to take all the credit here. I'm not going to take all the credit here, but I think I've brought Kane back to Facebook. That might be a good thing. It might be a bad thing, but I've brought him.
We'll see.
I've given him a reason to come on. There was no reason for Kane to come on Facebook. He's one of the smart ones that just I don't need it. I don't need social media. I don't need that shit.
Teach me your ways.
He's a very smart man. And I'll tell you what, Kane, I want you on here one day, okay? Because you're a very smart man, and Kane's one of the main people that have helped me become this.
Yeah.
So
and personally, as someone, and as someone who's only known you since July last year, thank you, because I like this Ryan. This is my favorite, my only version of Ryan, but my favorite version of Ryan.
I like this Ryan. And as for the first time in a long time, I can actually say that. I actually like this version. Yeah. And that man there has got a lot to do with that over the years, not just in the last sort of 12 months. I'm talking 25 years Kane's been helping me deal with my shit, So, and, so he doesn't come on Facebook much. And, to see, like you said, Kane miss you, and where is it here? Yeah, Kane's on Facebook. What the hell? I couldn't believe it. So, there you go. Timmy saying, give blowing a kiss back, Timmy. So,
it's good. It's good to see. It's good to see bringing people back.
Again, we're just bringing people together, and we're creating this safe space, this safe zone, and this is what the whole point of it was to create. Yes, I wanted to create awareness, and I wanted to hang on with computers making noises. Don't you dare do it to me.
Where's Michelle?
You dare do it to me.
Get Michelle.
That's all right. It's all right. Me and Anne-Marie can handle it. You go off and have a panic attack. It's okay.
That was scary. But it was to create that safe zone. Yes, I wanted to create awareness for it because as much as everyone knows about mental health, I don't think that there's still that stigma around it, and you can't really talk about it out there very much. Hopefully, things will change, and things are changing. It is getting a bit more. I hate use the word acceptable, but people are talking about it more now, and especially on Friday night.
Yeah.
So look,
Sorry, I keep interrupting.
It's all good. You're doing what is needed to be done, and I think we've got our own. As I said before, we've got our own little village going on here, and that's it. Look, as Jason said, love your work, right? And this is a new family that we're building here, mate.
It is.
Family's alive.
Yeah, it's opening us. Yeah, I was gonna say it's opening us up to conversations. We're getting feedback, so like I'm reading comments directed to me from people I've never met before, only because through this, and I'm getting different from my own person. I'm getting different perspectives. I'm getting comments going, actually, so and so said this. That's how I feel, but I wasn't ready to say it. So, but they've said it, but I feel this.
Yeah,
exactly right.
That's what I said before. it's one thing to have me on here and one thing to have you on here, Damien, talking about the stuff, but it's these people in the comment section that, you know, that's why we're doing it. That's why we're doing this, and we're giving them the courage to speak, to air what's on their mind. I mean, I said it back in my second video that it's, you know, all these feelings that we keep inside, and if we don't let them out, we build up, and like I forget what the term I used. I can't remember. I was saying so long ago, 8 weeks ago.
But it's very like volcano-like.
It's the pressure valve. The pressure valve.
Yeah.
You keep leaving it building up, and you haven't got anyone to talk to about it. You just explode, and that's when that's when domestic violence comes into it. That's when, unfortunately, suicide comes back into it. You know? And it's all those, because there's nowhere to talk, and not only being able to talk, but the most important thing is having someone to actually listen to you. You know, and not to solve your problems. Like I'll sit here and listen. I'll sit here and listen to you. I don't have all the answers, but I'll tell you what. I'll sit here and listen to you till the cows come home. I'll listen until you've gotten everything off your chest.
And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't want people to solve it for you. You just want them to listen. I don't want you to tell me what to do. You know, I'm not a child, but I just. Yeah. This is my crisis. This is where I'm at. This is how I feel. This is what I want to do. It may be right. It might be wrong. And you go, okay, yep. Active listening. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
You want to
acknowledge me.
You want to feel that's it. Don't how I feel. Don't solve my problems. I don't want you solving my problems. I just want you to listen to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, so that I know that you've actually heard me and you understand me. And you can, you know where I'm coming from. Don't solve my problems. I don't want you to solve my problems. So,
And
sorry, I keep looking at it.
Yeah, that's all right. People will jump in and go, "Oh, do this." It's like, yeah, but the first thing I say out of my mouth may actually not be the problem. You may have to sit here for half an hour to actually get to the main problem. So if you're fixing the first 5 minutes, then you're not seeing the problem.
Well, we were doing it today in TAFE. We're doing a recovery oriented practice unit at the moment, and we were talking about, you know, how psychologists sometimes, you know, they just, you know, they want to, you know, before they even get to know you, you know what I mean, before they, and apart from Michelle, because Michelle is one of the best from last week.
She was good.
What you know, they, without even getting to know you, they sit you down and,
what's your problem?
What's your problem? What's your goals? What are your, you know, what are your goals in life? It's like, well, you know, you haven't even taken that, you know, you haven't even given me 2 minutes to explain to you what I'm about, and you're already making assumptions.
You shut down. Like I've gone to see somebody about something, and I walked in the door. I was apprehensive. I was nervous. She goes, basically, she was like, "Oh, so what's wrong?" First words that she said to me was, "What's wrong?" And I went, "You know what? Nothing's wrong. Bye."
Yeah, you shut down.
I went and saw someone 2 years ago after leaving my job that I had after a lot of issues. She was like, "Hi, you know, my name's Pravani. You know, we're going to be here for 45 minutes, but she goes, I'm not charging you for the first one. We're just going to chat. So who are you? What are you? What do you identify as? Like, just look at everything around you. And then next week we'll talk about what's brought you in. But today I just want to get to know you, see if we work well together. If not," and I just went, "Okay, well, this is me. This is this is who I am," and it was great.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, Damo, we keep leaving you out there, mate. You got.
That's all right,
Magic Dragon.
I'm doing what you did last week. I'm just listening.
Oh, good, sweet. I was hoping you were going to say that. Good.
He's just validating our conversation by just listening to us.
Just validate. That's right. Well, yeah. When your cousin comes on, I'm sure you'll be doing a lot of talking, mate. That's why I'm trying to get my talking out of the way now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it out so I can let him in.
If there was something that you said that I can agree with, you know me well enough, Ryan, I would tell you straight off the bat.
Oh, 100%. I know, and that's why I knew, like, all right, he's sitting there agreeing, because Damien usually chimes in if he's got something to say, and he was taking all that in. So
I was waiting for something. I'm like, oh, here we go.
We'll get quickly back to addiction before we let you go, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, I got to let the other guy in.
Yeah, Kane, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Habits like
But see, some of those, again, negative and positive outcomes, dude, with everything. So if you talk about your sport addiction, for example, a reading addiction, model addiction, me with my gaming, I love to game. That's another one of my addictions. All positive things. I've met friends on my games that I'll have for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I know
my partner's big on Final Fantasy. We went overseas last year. We met a whole bunch of his friends. Oh, not Final Fantasy, sorry. Oh, it was Final Fantasy, sorry. The bosses told me I was correct.
You're going to have to get Gilbert to come on and say hello. You have to get Gilbert to come on and just say hello.
He's in his pajamas.
So am I.
So am we. So am I.
No, he's currently gaming. He's on the Switch. He's like plugged in.
Animal Crossing?
You know?
What are you playing? Pokemon Shield.
There we go. That's another good one. I played that too. See? So that's all. But look, back to that. Addiction to socially acceptable habits like work, sports, reading, etc., not drugs, but can have a similar outcome. If you're too addicted to work, for example, then your family life slacks and lacks off. See, Ryan's nodding his head there. He knows that one exactly.
I'm nodding for Kane. He knows what I'm nodding for.
Right?
And he went back to his game.
Of course he did. True gaming. But yeah, look, it's a lot of the things I think with addiction and things that you're addicted to also falls down to how you handle that addiction. If you say you're addicted to drugs, for example, if you abuse these drugs, then they will harm you severely. And your addiction will F you up big time, right? But if you're addicted to things like sports and work and you want to be active and it's all good and happy things that you're addicted to.
Yeah, it's balance.
As long as it's in balance, perfect word, in balance, then fine, you're going great. And I agree with that. I agree 100%.
Yeah, like I went through a period, like The Sims took over my life. There was a period of time, The Sims took over my life. So like I could play up to 12 hours straight at one point. I was way too into it. Like studies. Studies went bad. Work.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just saying like my work suffered. I was knocking back shifts so I could go home and just be gored on a screen.
Yeah, that's it. Addictions take on many forms, many forms. So,
like I know teenage girls that are addicted to Instagram. They have to have the likes. If the photo doesn't get a certain amount of likes, they've got to delete it.
Yeah, I had the same conversation with Amelia the other night about all social medias. You know that they think that it becomes an addiction. I have to check. I have to get on and see what everyone's doing. I have to. Otherwise, I'm going to feel left out. But and it's the root of all evil. It's so fake. As I said in one of the first episodes, it's just so fake. You can take a snapshot, and a picture is just a moment in time. We don't know what happened before that picture was taken, and we don't know what's happening after that picture's taken. But for that instant, everything looks perfect.
Yeah,
but it's not.
I know of a family friend who was big on Instagram and had the happy pictures of her and her kids and her husband and look at the holidays and look at this. She was a victim of domestic violence. That was her way of telling the world everything's fine. Don't look here. Don't look for something, because if he sees you looking for something, he's going to kill me.
Yeah.
But she had like thousands of people that followed her. I looked at it I have Instagram. I looked at it posts every couple of days and went, they went down to Baddo Bay, or they've gone to the beach, or, she's got her hair and her daughter have got her nails done. So I didn't look for bruises. I didn't look for the signs.
It's to hide, but
yeah.
Yeah, mate, we do. We'll just quickly touch on that one. But some people do have a big problem with gaming. Some people, younger generation can what's called raging. My son.
Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite.
Fortnite. Terrible. What do you think about Fortnite, Daniel?
Now you're going to get me started. Pete, if you're watching, you're going to have to stay off for another half an hour. Look,
you're going to give the poor man a heart attack.
So there's a difference between gaming and So there's a difference between playing games, gaming, and being addicted to that crap. Yeah. Now, I have said it for years, and my wife will be one to back me up on it. Fortnite is the cancer of gaming, and it is purely giving it a bad name. Now, there was a while back. See, Peter's commented, haha, don't get him started, because he knows what it's like. So I have always, my entire life, I have played games. I have played video games my entire life, and it is my escape. It is my calm time. It is my refuge, right? Mm-hmm. But then you get people on there who take this shit way too seriously. Like, dude, we're having a game here. It's nothing to like, and there's a thing out there now, and like streaming games is a big thing. There's a lot of money involved. Yeah, Twitch. Right? Twitch and things like that. There's a lot of money involved. There's a thing called swatting. Have you ever heard of it? It's big in America, okay? So what they do is they'll sit there like you can see us now, and you'll have a screen of my game of what I'm playing, and I'm doing whatever we're talking about and everything like that. Then some bastard who's watching the thing calls the police on the switcher saying that they're doing something wrong in his video, and they rock up and arrest the bloke.
Yeah, no.
Now, what is that? And then you get people who are going around, predators who are hunting children on these games, and that's giving things, something that I love, a bad name.
Yeah, it destroys the whole thing. Like, Gilbert is a gamer. I've known Gilbert for 11, 12 years. Gaming has just always been a big part of who he is. But there are people that just take it way too seriously.
Too far.
Yeah, too far, not seriously, but too far. And it's like I have a sister, so Gilbert has a sister who is 16 years younger than him. And one school holidays I was looking after, and she was playing Fortnite. Like, I had no issue with Fortnite at the time. I didn't really understand it. The Sims is as much gaming as I do. Right? I don't interact with people. I've never done RPG. I don't understand it. It throws me. And she's in the next room, so she would have been about 12 at the time, and it's what the F are you doing, and see you next Tuesday, and all this language, and I'm walking out the door, going into this room, 2 locked doors, not locked, but closed doors, going, what's happening? Oh, this blah, 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 and I'm like, you got to get off. Just get off, because I'm like, where does this, how do you know these words?
Me and Peter, right, my cousin, we'll sit back, we play a game, we have a few drinks, we talk over the headset, we have a laugh, it's fun.
Yeah.
But it's got to be controlled. I mean, it's like things like Fortnite, Battlegrounds, things like that. Call of Duty is one of the worst ones of them all. Yeah. It's just, that's not gaming. That's not gaming. Things going back to the old school games like Mario and
the fun stuff, Donkey Kong.
Sonic, Donkey Kong, things like that. That's gaming.
Yeah.
This stuff that they have nowadays, please.
It's mindless violence for me. I find it mindless violence. It's an excuse for man babies to get on there and abuse the shit out of each other. Oh, sorry for the language.
But it's after 9. You can say whatever you want.
You're right.
Right, good. No, I just know that Amelia and they watch that night.
Oh, she hears it. She listens to her daddy's face, so it's all right.
But yeah, look, to put a pin in that straight off, to say that gaming is bad is a very broad thing. That's a very broad subject to cover, and I think that might be another video, another class.
That's another conversation.
We'll talk about that another time, I think.
But I do like Amelia's comment here. With gaming, it takes you into a different world and makes you forget about everything around you and makes you forget about your problems. 100%, you are right.
Yeah.
But with the rest of her comments, some people take it really seriously and rage a lot if they don't get their way. Look, if you have to sit and rage at some 7-year-old sitting at home because he's better than you, maybe you should just put down your controller and walk away. You're obviously not good enough to be playing games. And Kevin, FIFA isn't really a game, mate.
It's not.
Kevin lives for FIFA, mate. Kevin lives for FIFA.
Wait. No, but I'm trying to see which team's in his profile picture. Is that Portugal? No. If it is Portugal, that's fine. I get it. I'm marrying a Portuguese guy. It's great. If it's any other team, nah, take it away.
FIFA fanboys, mate. That's all I've got to say.
I can barely handle live FIFA. I don't need a game.
All right, Emily, that's your
I should
time
get
up.
out of here. Yeah, I should get out of here. Kick me off, boys.
Wait, listen, see, and you were nervous about this, and look at this. We could have kept going and going and going.
I know. Another time. I'll come back another time. As long as you keep wearing your glasses.
Definitely going to get you on another time. Thank you so much for giving us
it's been a pleasure.
You've made a lot of fans on this page. You've made a lot of
conversation.
You've been with us since day one, Anne-Marie, so thank you so much. Oh, hang on, look, just before we go.
Liverpool.
Oh, it's Liverpool. No, I don't even know what colour. I don't know.
Man United for life, brother. Man United for life.
I only know national teams. I don't even know like local teams. Like I couldn't tell you about the Australian soccer people. I don't know.
Liverpool. Don't get him started. Liverpool is not an Australian soccer team. They're an English soccer team.
I know Liverpool's English, please. It's not Livo down the road.
Thank God for that. Okay. You better go, Emery. He's going to come after you for that. Get out of here. Run.
Good luck trying to find me.
Hey, these Liverpool fans, they're a bit crazy.
Soccer fans are crazy.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. We love you. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely have you on again in the future.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you
I'll
much.
still be here loitering on my phone.
Good. Please do. Please send it. Send through some help us out with this next section.
I got heaps of questions. I'm gonna slam this new guy. Who's this taking over my prime time spot?
All right.
All right. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. All right. Cool. Well, we might just take a bit. I see Pete's here sitting in the lobby. We'll just have a quick drink, have a quick cheers to everyone. Thank you guys for participating in that. That was awesome talk. I really like that.
Cheers. And Kevin, I am a good player. Hold on. Kevin wants to talk to me about FIFA for a minute here. Look, I am a good bloke, but look, come on, mate. Come on, Man U, please. I grew up with them. Look, I know you Liverpool guys don't understand it, but hey, I don't know how you can support Liverpool. It's just the way it is.
Oh, mate, Kevin's sick. He's sick for Liverpool, bro. Sick for him. Look, I've seen Kevin get into some pretty hardcore fights on Facebook over soccer, and it's like I just sit there and laugh. I'm like, go Kev, get him, mate, sick him. But it's hilarious.
There is one thing that we can agree on: if you're not mad for it, then you're not really a supporter. That's it.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
100%.
All right, so we've kept him waiting long enough. Okay, here he comes.
Evening, lads.
How you going, champion?
Hey.
Sorry for keeping you so long, mate.
Mate, I've been sitting around just listening and watching the comments. I think I made a new mate here. I've got Kevin loving FIFA.
Oh, mate, Kevin will talk your ear off about FIFA, mate. Don't worry about that. He'll love it. He loves it. Absolutely loves it. Look, he's still going.
All right. So, what was the next one?
Well, look, it was supposed to be self-worth, but we can talk about anything. That's the beauty of this thing. We can talk about anything. Do you want to talk about self-worth?
Yeah, I think self-importance and self-worth is definitely a good one to speak about at this time in the world's history at the moment.
Let's go for it.
All right. So, look, I've done enough talking for the moment. Pete, you're up. Self-importance and self-worth. What are your thoughts on it?
Thanks for throwing me in the deep end.
No worries.
Mate, look, I think self-worth comes down to a number of different things. People are going to look at self-worth at a couple of different levels. what you think of yourself, yes, but also what you envisage that others are looking and thinking of you at the same time.
Mhm.
And I think that stemming back from the social media comments, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, the entire lot of them has completely changed what self-worth meant back in the 80s and 90s and when I was growing up through school in the 90s and early 2000s to what self-worth is now. If I don't have 50,000 followers, I'm not worthy. Back in my day, you kick a soccer ball, you were worthy. You had some mates.
Pete, just before you keep on going, fix up your mic because you keep on cutting in and out.
Is that my mic coming in and out?
You go robot-y. But look, if I agree with that, people sit there on Facebook and social medias and things like that, and they have a look at how many people have commented or liked or looked at their thing or whatever they've done. And if they don't get their likes or if they don't get their comments, oh, wow, that's great, or this is amazing. People look at their things and they sit there and have a look at it and go, no one's commented. No one said anything. Oh, should I take that photo? What is that? That's not right. Oh, what if I, and sorry to say, but your Amelia would be the perfect one to talk about this because she lives it. She's living right in the middle of it. She knows exactly what's happening. I mean, us three dinosaurs can sit here and talk about it all day, but these kids are sitting there and living it and talking about it, and they know what's going on. I mean, a throw-out question to Amelia. If you don't get your likes and your comments on your post, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, it'll be a big thing. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. It's a huge
thing. That's it. It's that image. It's that image that, they all think that they have to uphold this some sort of image, and if they're not, if they don't live up to it, then they're nothing. You know what I mean? They're lower than nothing. So and it's, again, like I've been saying, it's all fake. It's all like they take that snapshot in time, that 1 second snapshot, and the rest of them, oh, how come my life isn't that perfect? Well, you know what? That person who took that photo's life isn't that perfect either. It's just that 1 second. Yeah, okay, all right. They're smiling in that photo, or their hair looks nice, or something about them is good. And then everyone else said, oh, how come I don't look like that? I mustn't, how come so many people have liked that and they didn't like my post? Or, it's that we give everyone else power over our own lives. Instead of, really, at the end of the day, the only person we really need gratification from is ourselves. Really, we need to be able to look in that mirror and be happy with what we see, and whatever anyone else says is their opinion. And that's my take. So,
that's 100%. You're right, completely, 100%.
Yeah, big time.
If you can't look at yourself in the mirror and be happy with what you see there on the other side, then it's not worth it. You have to be.
No, big time.
Okay, but in saying that, then Pete, what if you're not happy with what you see, then what steps do you take to make that reflection better?
That's where you've got to go back and you've got to start asking yourself the questions. What aren't you happy seeing? Like when you look in the mirror, and right now you're looking at yourself through a camera and you see yourself on the other side. What aren't you happy with when you look at yourself? Not phically, but emotionally.
Nothing, mate.
No, mate, I'm perfect.
Ryan, you're. Oh.
Look at me. Fuck, how could you not be happy with me? But, no, in all seriousness, I do completely agree with you. Like, if you can't look back at yourself, and even physically, mentally, everything like that. Like, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but you see this? Oh, wait, sorry, I'm all turned around here. But my ear, see it?
That one, yeah.
Yeah. See how it's a bit crimped over? No one ever notices that. But I have a look at that, and I notice that every time I look at myself in the mirror, and I think, fuck, that's a big thing for me. That stands out for me. And it's something like, I don't know if you notice, but I try and hide it as much as possible.
Well, see, I've got to say, look, I've got a weird thing too. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, I've got no earlobes. Have a look at my ears, mate. I don't have any earlobes, and I was massively about that in high school more than that. And plus, like I said last week, these things, these things gave me a massive complex. You know what I mean? Even though it was something that was aiding my vision, helping me to be able to see the world and be able to learn stuff. Because I got picked on about it and my self-worth went down the shithole, I just thought, oh, well, nah, forget it. It'd be one less thing for all the assholes to pick on me for, so I'll just get rid of it. But I suffered because of it. So, you know.
Exactly right. Yeah, have a look at Amelia's comment here. You have to be perfect to be worth someone's time these days. Like, for how old is she? 13?
Yeah, 13.
For a 13-year-old girl to be worried about how other people view her on Instagram and Facebook is
not right.
Complete bullshit.
It's not right, is it?
Not right.
No, it's not right. Hey, you know what, Amelia? Don't repeat this, but I don't give an F what anybody thinks about you. You're perfect the way you are. If anybody doesn't have a problem with it, then you tell them that there's 3 blokes here that they could come and talk to about it before anybody. Because, darling, you are perfect the way you are. Don't change for anybody. Only if you want to do something, you do it. And that goes for everybody here. I am sick and tired of people thinking you have a right to comment on how somebody is. You don't. I mean, look, you got 3 diverse people right here. And what, someone's going to come and say, I dare anyone to say something bad about me or something about someone I care about. I'll give you a full rundown and you'll be a little bit worse for wear when I'm done with you. I am sick and tired of people thinking like that and talking about other people. What right do you have to talk about somebody else in a negative fashion? Who do you think you are? What power do you have? That's the thing.
What controls a lot of people's self-worth. That's the big problem, is that people will look out at others, and that's what they'll bring their self-worth from, not from something that's on the inside. Now, I can tell you from a shit ton of experience, again, excuse the language, but from a lot of experience, that you look to be, or everyone does. And Amelia going through school will be feeling this as well. You look to be the center of the crowd. You look to try and find people that are going to like you, and you will fake things to become somebody else. Yep. That's going to destroy your self-worth, because when you look in the mirror in the morning, you're not going to see yourself. You're going to see some fake person that you are with Mary, Joe, and Bob. And then you're going to see another fake person that you are with family, because you can't be that person with family. And then when you're sitting by yourself in a room and you're just playing a game, watching a TV show, or just having a chat or browsing Facebook, you're not going to feel self-worth, because you're 3 different people.
Exactly. You forget who you are, because
you forget who you are.
You learn it real quick. I think Shannon said it right there. Battle scars of life show the depth of worth. And once you've been through a lot of things, and once you've had those battle scars, that shows you who you are. And then when you wake up in the morning and you look in that mirror, you see yourself, you smile, you take a step out that door, and you don't give a rat's what people think. That's when you know you've got self-worth. And from that builds confidence, and from that builds your personality. That builds you as a person. That makes you what you are.
Yeah,
100%. And what Carly says here, the best thing about growing older, in my case, has been learning to trust what loved ones think of me. We can be so critical of ourselves. Mate, Paul, hit the hammer on the head with that one. Definitely, 100%.
Yep.
But you know what? Even family members can be a little bit critical of who you are.
Like, look, even this now. I've been, you know.
Yeah, but Ryan, don't worry about it. Look, hey, okay, right, you can just pick on him for being a bald wog. Like,
really? Just pick on him for being a bald cunt. Or, you know, that's all good, mate.
Just look, that's it. I mean, look, we pick on him about the shine coming off his head. That's just fine. I mean, but see, then we've got a culture, the older generation, and I reckon Peter can back me up on this one completely, that there's a culture where we sit around and we'll take little digs at each other, we'll pick on each other, but that's just blokes talking to blokes.
Yes.
If we've got a serious problem, we can I call Peter the Serbian all the time. You know,
there's a colourful word that comes after that, but
even if it's after 9, I can't say that word. But No, but you know, and I pick on Ryan for being Maltese. I'm half Maltese myself. I've got German in me. He calls me a crowd all the time. It's just the way we pick each other. You know what I mean? And that is having fun. That is a bit of banter. That word I'm looking for. But
different.
People come out and they say it in a hateful way, or they say it in a prejudiced way. I think I used that word rightly. Or if there's some negativity towards what they're saying to you, they don't have a right. And don't give people that power. Do not empower people that way. There are, see, there's a fine line between being funny and being cruel. And everybody has to remember that the most important person in your life is the person that you see in the reflection of the mirror.
100%.
And that's it. And Ryan, I assume Amelia is sitting right next to you.
Hi.
See?
Do you want to come in here? Come on, come in here. Come on.
Do I have to? No.
Come on. There she is. See? Hi.
Hi. Hi.
This is what we're talking about. Remember, self-confidence. Okay?
You got to be confident, darling. You got nothing to be not to be confident about.
Just say hello.
What are you worried about, Amelia?
I don't have confidence.
She lacks a bit of confidence in herself, especially being on film and on camera and stuff like that. So we're working through it.
You know what you do? Cool runnings. Get her to stand in front of the mirror and do a little bit of I see pride, I see power.
That's it.
No.
I see a badass mother. That's what you got to do. That's exactly
what you got to do. And then you got to kiss the lucky egg.
Kiss the lucky egg. So you know what you can do? You just give your old man a kiss on the head. That's a lucky egg.
Yeah, but that's the shape, yeah.
And look, and there's another problem with that. I mean, the stigma around teenagers not believing in themselves, especially nowadays, is mind blowing. Like, guys,
it's rough, man. It really, like, kids. It's honestly, I keep saying it every week. Life's not a competition, but for this age, it is. Like they've made life a competition for themselves. And they can't feel comfortable in their own skin because they've just got no self-worth whatsoever.
Well,
and the ones that do have self-worth, it's almost like it's not deserved because their self-worth they've received their self-worth from dragging other people down and making each other feel like shit, you know, and that's what, you know. It's all a show. That's exactly right. So she's smart. She really is a smart girl. You know, but again, people have done this to her. You know what I mean? This kid used to be the most confident person I've ever known in my life. The most, you know, just loved being in front of a camera, loved being the center of attention. But she just, you know, from assholes trying to make themselves feel better, have destroyed her confidence, completely destroyed her confidence, and it's, you know, and it's unwarranted because she is. Okay, you know, I know she's my daughter and I'm biased, but she is the most gorgeous, most intelligent young 13-year-old young person I've ever known. She's got so much going for her, but because of people out there that don't feel good about themselves and to make themselves give them, you know, that self-importance, they drag people like her down. You know, so.
Like yesterday.
And look, same thing happened to me. Same thing happened to me when I went through school. All the way through school, I had no self-confidence whatsoever. Okay. I was a sheep. I was a sheep in the corner, and I just had nothing. I had nothing going for me. Then I woke up to myself at the end of year 12, and I said, hold on a sec. Why am I letting them do this to me? So my actions at that stage were not warranted whatsoever, but I hear that the bloke's still recovering and he's all right. It's not a problem. But I did things that I'm not proud of. But then I came out of school and I developed I don't give a shit attitude. I don't care what people think of me. And that's what you need to have. You need to form that skin where you're like, okay, that's your opinion. It's wrong. I don't care what you think of me. I am who I am because this is the way God made me.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
You've got to bring it within yourself. There's a very good book out there. It's also a YouTube clip. It goes for about 27 minutes, half an hour if you ever look at it. It's called How to Become Un-F-Withable. Insert full F word in there. But have a look at it. It teaches you some of the things that you need to be so that people can't muck around with you, so that they can't control you and put you down. And it's about being able to tune out on bad comments, but still be able to control yourself enough that you don't take it in and it hits you subconsciously later on, because that's part of the other problem, is that you do hear these things constantly. You do hear negativity constantly, and it's not just for self-worth. We're hearing negativity over media, over news, over Facebook, over everything, every single day. That can become subconscious, and that builds into your self-worth as well. You need to try and control it from a subconscious level.
Big time. Big time. If you do me a favour, mate, when we get off, if you find that video, can you send it to me and I'll put it on this page?
Yeah, 100%.
Send me the link and I'll put it on this page for sure, mate. Definitely. Definitely. Pete,
I told you. See, someone gives you shit. The old school way was you just give them one right in the head and that sorts it out. But unfortunately, mate, you can't do that kind of stuff these days. It just doesn't work anymore. I mean, you can't smack smart into shit.
Yeah, I like that. You can't cue it dumb.
No,
doesn't matter how hard I hit you, you're still going to be an idiot when you're finished with you. So, look, some people aren't worth the problems, and that's what most kids have got to realize nowadays. Most people just aren't worth it.
No,
they aren't worth the problem.
Not in any way.
It was so different for us. Like I said last week, for us growing up back in when we grew up, like when school, you might cop a bit of shit in the schoolyard, and then once you left school, it was done for the day, finished. But these poor kids, it comes home. It's on every social media platform that they're on. And then, like you said, Peter, gets into their subconscious, and they can't even look at themselves in the mirror because of what someone said about them today or yesterday or whatever. So it's just it's just a never-ending cycle for these kids these days. They just can't escape it. We could back in our day, we could sort of somewhat escape it.
But we were right on the verge of the internet. It hadn't exactly shot off yet. I think I'm looking back 97. I was in year 7 in 97, going through to 2000, going into year 10. We didn't have the internet the way it is now. We had dial-up and AOL. So if you wanted to put a bad comment on and call someone a ASS or a CNX Tuesday, it would probably take a week for that message to get to them. You'd be better off writing a letter.
Getting it quicker. Yeah. Just old.
Yeah, we are.
Bad.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, Pete, Anne-Marie condoning violence. Yep. Good on you, Anne-Marie. Get on you, Mary Ann. Yep.
I was
Bloody Mary Ann. But yeah, sorry, go on.
On the other end of the spectrum, look, it was back in our day. It was good to give people a good old smack in the face, and you kind of sorted your stuff out that way. I think today, in today's society especially, because if you get an argument with someone and you slap them up the head, the first thing they're going to do, brutality, and all. Yeah, I'm going to sue you. What is that crap? So the best way to be able to do it now, and the way that I was told, which didn't really work for me, but maybe there's better people out there than I am. You can form your skin, not care what people think about you, and walk away from a situation. As Jason said plenty of times, remove yourself from a bad situation, and that's it. If you remove yourself from that bad situation, or if you go to the proper authority figure in whatever area or context it's in, then you deal with it in a humane and civilized way for today's age. I mean, humane and civilized back when we were in high school was 2 blokes to have a punch out and sort it out there and then.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that anymore. And as Anne Marie has put down the bottom there, it'll be recorded and put up on Facebook or some form of social media. So how will that affect you afterwards? Well, you're going to be called a pussy because you walked away. You know what I mean? No, you're not a pussy because you walked away. You're smart because you decided to handle it in a civilized manner. I think. Anyway, that's my opinion.
No, that's it. I'm trying to find one from Carly. I forget where it is now. I'm trying to find it, but it's all about, here we go. Is it this one? Yeah. Again, they're hearing all this bullshit from the school, but at the end of the day, it's your own opinion. Getting back to the self-worth thing, it's about what you truly think about yourself and the loved ones are in your life. They're the opinions that matter, and the loved ones are the ones that will lift you back up to where you need to be, and give you that confidence back. But again, it's just, and I mean, it's easy for us to say it, but it is so hard for these kids today because they got no confidence in themselves because of the shit that they hear every day. Some of them cop it non-stop, and it's just, I don't know, it's tough going. It really is. It must be tough going for these kids,
Well, I mean, Pete, how old Ollie now?
6.
And I believe when he was not long ago, he was going through something similar, right?
He was going through a couple of bits and pieces with kids at school because he takes time to warm up to people. And being at school and being the kid that sort of wants to sit by himself and sort of play, and it takes him some time to make a friend. He started getting picked on. They'd steal his hat, they'd kick him, they'd push him. And it would just be a random thing of a group of 3 or 4 kids that kept doing it. Now, he outlashed. And when he outlashed, and that was brought to our attention as parents.
Of course.
But what wasn't brought to our attention was what was causing that outlash. So when we dug deeper and we started to speak to him, we then found out what was causing that outlash. Now, when we brought that back to the school, this comes back to the public schooling system and what you were talking about, Damo. We were told that, those students will be dealt with that are causing him anguish. But he was the one going home every afternoon with a letter saying that he's done something wrong or that we had to pick him up early. The other students would still be there at the end of the day. And, I'd come to pick him up on a Thursday and he's been kicked, he's got a bruise, he's got a scratch. The other kid's walking out to his parents and walking home, and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute. You're sending my son home for lashing back after he's been hit 5, 6, 7, 8 times. But these kids that are pushing him, what are they getting?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
That's the big thing, is they get nothing because we didn't see them do it.
Exactly. I'm sick of that. Oh, we've got no proof of that, but we saw your son. What we saw was your son. The same thing happened with my boy. My boy's was getting picked on a few years ago. Yeah. And constantly coming home sad, and then one day he took it upon himself to fight back after months and months and months of copping shit. He fights back once, we get a phone call. Like, yeah, all right. Well, what about the several months of him, of his self-worth dragged through the shit house for these other kids? But what my son defends himself, finally has the confidence to stand up for himself, and you want to tear him down. Look, again, I don't condone violence. I don't condone violence at all, but I condone standing up for yourself, big time.
Yeah.
But it's not fair. You know what I mean? It really, anyway, whatever.
Yeah. It makes you think. Things change. Don't get me wrong. Things get better in time. And agree with Anne-Marie there. Yes, teachers should be watching, but they don't, whether it's selective seeing or not. But, once he started to build into it and he made a couple of friends, all of that went away. And that came from self-worth and self-confidence being built up in school. Yeah. That comes from him starting to feel accepted and him starting to feel like there is some self-worth to him now that you've got a friend, a second friend, some teachers are accepting you. That starts to change all the aspects around that bullying aspect.
Yeah. I like this because we have to. Yeah. And how the hell do you teach the young? Exactly. Well, that's right. You know.
It's Friday.
Hey.
I'll tell a story like later.
You want to tell a story?
Yeah.
Well, come and tell a story now.
Okay, so
Can everybody hear? Can you guys hear Amelia? Come in a bit closer.
Yeah.
You don't have to be on camera. Just come in a bit closer.
Okay. So yesterday I came back from counselling from school, and I go into my class.
Speak a bit closer here.
I go to my class, and these, I'm sorry I have to swear, these
so.
dickheads were having a go at my friend and and I just cracked. I had the massive go at them, and they were having a go at me. And the teacher had a go at me for yelling at them and defending myself. I'm like, are you actually serious? Like, I had to swear, I'm sorry. But, like, holy, like, oh my God. At recess, I was, like, about to punch them in the face. Like, they were treating me like shit. And I just come back, and I'm just like, why me? Why my friend? Like, we've been going through, like, so much stuff. And legit, I just wanted to punch him in the face. Like, whew. And there were, like, all the popular kids in my class.
It's always the popular ones.
And they're like, oh, you think you're top shit? I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't care what you say about me, but just shut up, because it's so, like, they were being so irritating and so annoying. And, oh, God, they were just so annoying. I was like, that's a rant there.
Good girl.
Like,
you feel better now? Getting off your chest?
yes, but
it's good to be able to talk about it and invent it, right?
It is.
The only advice that I can give you in that type of situation is, if they ever turn around to you again and go, what, you think you're top shit, blah, 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 and they start talking, just, all you got to do is this.
Yeah.
Put your hands up and say, hey, listen, hold on. Who do you think you are? First off, you have no control over me. You're worthless. Go be fake somewhere else. Just go be fake somewhere else. And if they want to get physical, stand up for yourself. That's it. There's nothing you can do. Try to diffuse the situation. If it doesn't work, then you have to defend yourself. And I'm sorry it happened to you, darling. I really am, but don't lower yourself to their level. They're not worth it. It's not worth your time.
Look at this one. A 9-year-old girl.
Oh, that's.
See?
You know?
See?
What's, you know, it's, you know, it's so beyond.
The only reason that they're doing it is they don't believe in themselves, and the only joy they get out of their lives is making someone else miserable.
Exactly, bringing them down to their level.
It's like the teachers don't even care most of the time.
Yeah, so, she's got another backup here. So she removed her from the school an hour away. Yeah.
See, and it boils down to, look, and Amelia, block your ears for a sec, darling. But
it's fine.
Block them.
It's fine.
Damien's going to swear.
Damien's
revving up now. Damien's going to rev up.
Block your ears for a minute then. Because it boils down to, and I know that there's a lot of parents on here, and you're both parents too, and I'm going to be one soon, but it just simply boils down, kids are cunts. And that's just it. There's no other way for me to say it. I'm sorry about that. I know it's after 9, it's almost 10, but we're good. But really, that's it. And like, as I said last week, I'm not above slapping a 5-year-old. I'm just not. If some little bastard deserves it, then they deserve it. And you know where it all boils down to? It boils down to lack of discipline, lack of respect.
Well, again, like we said last week, it's that shit is learned behaviour. You know what I mean? 9-year-olds don't know anything unless we teach them. You know what I mean? Or unless they learn it online or whatever. But it's learned behaviour. You know what I mean? So again, parents have got to take some responsibility for what their children are doing to other children. Sorry, but that's my stance on that. And you know,
we touched that on that last week. I mean, as you said, Ryan, a 5-year-old child doesn't know. Oh yeah, because somebody's different to me, I'm going to go and pick on them. It's something that they've learned, and something it's bad parenting, right? Simply put, if you like my nephew Oliver, right? Well, he's actually my second cousin, but he's more of a nephew to me. But my second cousin nephew Oliver, he has been taught by his father and by his mother to have respect, and he has been taught you respect your grandparents, you respect anybody that is older than you.
That's it, mate. Respect your elders and respect everybody.
Respect your elders, right? It is because the reason that you have to respect them, not only because they're older than you, but because you respect people who you can learn from.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah. And again, there you go. She tried to talk to the parents, and they were just as bad, if not worse. So again,
that's all. I'm saying is hand on heart, and from seeing it happen back from my primary school days, from my cousins who are younger than me in their primary school days, friends, family, and going down to my own son. When you see their parents and you see their reactions to things, it's ridiculous. You're right, Demo. Kids don't know this. It's a taught, and Ryan's spot on. It's a taught act. So bullying, hate, racism, all of that is taught. You don't grow up knowing that. You grow up just knowing I'm from Europe, you're from Asia, you're from America, you're from South. You just know that they're people. You're taught to hate people through media and through, more largely, your parents and your surroundings, what you're brought up through.
Oh, big time, mate. And it's.
And it's just, I'm sorry to use that language before, but I had no other way to explain it. It's true. And Pete, you're right. See? Pete's right. You don't get taught hate. I mean, sorry, you do get taught hate. It's not instilled in your brain. You're not born with hate. You don't unless you grow up with hate in your household and your parents pushing that on you. You don't know what hate is.
That's right. No, that's right.
I mean,
and it's everything.
Why can't everybody? I just don't understand why you. Unless you give me a reason not to like you, then I'm your best mate until you give me that reason not to be. It's just respect.
It's both. It's bad habits are learned in the house at home. But also that's where self-importance and self-love comes from as well, from the home. So if there's enough self-love and self-importance being spread in the home, your kid's going to grow up with that, that sense of self-pride and that, sense of self-worth. But if your kids are getting treated like shit at home, well, that's all they know. So, that's how you treat people. You treat people, you call them names, you pick on them, you treat them like shit because that's what? That's what my parents do. So isn't that normal?
Exactly.
So,
It's horrible to see. I mean, you both copped it at school being called wogs.
Yep. Big time. Four-eyed wog. It wasn't just a wog, it was a four-eyed wog, and I'll tell a story about my mum. My mum didn't help the situation once. When I was in year 6, I started a brand new school. Mum's going to start laughing with this.
Here we go.
Yeah, oh, mate, seriously. So I started a brand new school in year 4. Year 4 was tough. And it was Matella Road Public School. So our colours, we had a yellow shirt and brown pants. So piss and shit, basically. It's what we were wearing. And Mum's decided to, and it was the weekend before I had to start. So Mum's, come on, I'm going to give you a haircut. Are you sure? Can't we just go? That's back when I had hair. So I'm like, can't I just go to the
and it never grew back,
please? No, it's all right. I can do it. I'm a good hairdresser. I'm good. And fair income, he gave me the worst haircut in my life I've ever had. She bought me a shirt. She bought me a shirt that was 3 sizes too big. She bought pants. She bought King G. Remember the old King G pants? King G shorts? They were already too big. She bought them 2 or 3 sizes too big. Made me have the Harry High pants and tuck in my shirt up here. My pants were up here, and my shirt, and a big thick glasses. Sent me off to school, mate. Did I cop some shit that first day, that first week, right? But I tell you what, my God, mate, I copped it so bad. But in saying that, it actually made me strong. Like, it was, for me, I was able to sort of absorb that at that age. It got harder as high school got, because being called a wog is something different, but being called, what's going on, 4 eyes, your pants pulled up high enough? Oh, I love your hair. It was just everything when I was in year 4. But it sort of made me, here we go, yeah, it made me strong. It did. It made me stronger, but, far out. Those things, man. You could, if I had a photo, I'd put it up, or maybe I wouldn't. But yeah, it was just. I probably shouldn't put it up, actually. No, but yeah. Sorry, I had to share that story. That just came to mind. Thanks, Mum. Love you very much for that. Yep, that was great. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, you're right, Mum. It did. It made me stronger, and it made me, it made me be able to handle what was coming in the future. So yeah. But thank you, Mum. But not thank you. Anyway.
Thank you, Mum.
So this Carly one, it's so complex. I agree with.
Carly, I agree with you on that.
Okay.
I really do. And unfortunately, if it's passed down and children learn from their parents, and passed down through the line, I mean, as you said, intergenerational trauma is definitely a real issue, and it's passed down from generation to generation to generation.
Well, the big question is, how do you break it?
That is a good question.
How do you break it? A bit of new age thinking, maybe, but you try and teach an old tricks.
It's got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? It has to start somewhere. So.
And you know where it should start, Ryan? You know where it should actually start from? The failing public school system.
No, he's back on this again.
Trust me. If the public school decided to teach these bastard children what it is to actually treat people with respect, then a lot of these problems would dissipate. Honestly, they would. Because if they taught them, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter what background you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It definitely doesn't matter how much bloody money you got. Then these kids will stop being such little assholes, and they'd actually decide to treat each other with respect and learn to band together to be a cohesive unit to fight against the big bad world that they're about to step into.
That's it, mate. 100%.
What do you like? Tell me, guys. What do you reckon? Am I right or am I wrong?
Everything except for the big bad world.
Come on.
There's not so much bad out there.
Are you kidding me or what? What have you been smoking? What's in your vape?
Sambuca.
Look, I sort of, there's negative everywhere, but again, you've got to peak sort of, you got to look, you got to find there's positive too. There's positive within the negative. You know what I mean? You just got to find it. But yeah, look, a lot of people can make a difference in this. Schools, yes, definitely can make more of an effort. Again, the parents, and the wider community as well. You know what I mean? Of just that acceptance. It's life is not a competition, and it's not, it's not, oh, you're this color or you're this and you're that and blah blah blah. We're all one. We're all here together. We're all living here together on this planet. So we're all here for some reason. I just don't understand why racism or why any of it, why people get picked on for being a little bit different to someone else. I've never understood it. hopefully never will understand it because I don't want to. I think it's just ridiculous. But but in saying that, there is beauty out there too. As much negativity is out there, there's a lot of beautiful stuff out there as well that we just, you don't hear about it as much as the negativity, but there is positive stuff out there.
Because the negativity brings more of a reaction. That's the big thing.
Negativity sells, doesn't it? No one cares about a positive story.
That sells. Like someone says, "Hey, look, I don't know, freaking Tom Cruise bought a new car." No one cares. They just look at it, okay, Tom Cruise bought a new car. You put in there that Tom Cruise threw a telephone at someone's head.
Yeah.
Or that was one of our Aussie blokes, wasn't it? That was
Russell Crowe, yeah.
But you put in Russell Crowe threw a telephone at someone's head. That's going to go viral.
Yep.
And people will laugh at that, and there are people out there who are going to look at that, and then they're going to say, hey, if he did it, why can't I do it and have a good laugh and go viral like that? And that comes down again to wanting to go viral, wanting to have that effect, wanting to reach more people, wanting to
Yeah, no, I get that definitely. And it's that. I've seen him do it, and he's gotten famous off it. Well, I'm going to do something along the same sort of lines, and even if it hurts people, well, who gives a shit? I'm going to do it anyway. Again, just that learned behaviour. Every one of us who are out in public, are out everywhere, parents especially, we're all role models. As much as we think that we're not, and I know that my kid's not watching here, I can do this. They're watching everything. Everything we do, someone is watching. Like even us here tonight. We're live tonight, yes, but this video is going to be on. People can get on and watch it, you know what I mean, and watch it at any time. So that's why we've got to sort of be careful what we say, and because people can misinterpret what we say, and but again, it's all just it's the misconceptions, and it's the learnt behaviours, the bad learnt behaviours. If it's all learnt behaviour, how come we can't learn the good stuff? You know what I mean? I mean, there are people that do. Again,
hold on. You can learn the good stuff, mate. I mean. You have a look at your kids, for example. I mean, I'm not going to toot your horn here, but you've done pretty well raising those two kids. And I mean, toot, brother. But your daughter, your son, they're all. You've got good kids, but it also boils down to the person that they are. I mean, if there's that little twitch, there's that little nick of evil in them. I'm sorry, but. Like a lot of the 99.9% of the stuff is learned. Some people are just bad people, and unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. Not everybody can be bright and shining souls like we are.
Well, not everyone's that lucky, mate.
No, you know what I say. It's nobody's perfect, but I come pretty damn close.
Yeah. That's it, mate. The Maltese come pretty damn close, mate.
They broke the mold, didn't they?
Look, we all come pretty well, but I mean, with some people, you can only polish a turd so far.
But yes, Kane, community does play a huge role, man. Definitely, 100%.
Big one does.
100%.
100%. And even if you're talking about your inner circle as a community, mate, your community, your family, your close-knit friends, everything, they all play a role in it.
That's a community. What we've got here is a community. Your friends on Facebook, your friends at home, your neighbours, your family, your extended family, their neighbours. Everybody is a part of that because they'll all have an influence in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, big time. 100%, mate. 100%. I just got to. Sorry, my son's trying to get through here, so I'm gonna. If I don't post something that he's written, he's on Michelle's phone. So. He's loving it. That's good. There's a 9-year-old boy watching this and listening to this. This is making me feel good that he's actually listening to it. Again, I love it, Dad. It's so good. All right, buddy. There you go. I got you.
Caleb, if you don't continue to be a good boy, then I'm going to get your old man to get Grandma around to have a talk to you, okay?
Oh.
And you don't want none to come around and have a talk to you.
Yeah, because the talk will never stop.
Mama comes around. We'll be out.
No, but listen, Caleb, you keep on being a good boy. Trust me, it'll make you go leaps and bounds when you're an older man.
Birthday buddy.
So yeah, and then look, Jason again, mate. Yeah, that's what Pete was saying, mate. Negativity sells. Unfortunately, it does. You know, it's just no one. You know, you don't. No one really cares about the positive stories. It's all about the net. Oh, Russell Crowe threw a phone at someone. Well, do we really need to know that shit? Do you really need to advertise that out to the public?
Headline news?
Is that the best that happened today? Really? No one did something beautiful instead. No, this is what you got to concentrate on. And again, there you go. There's another one. The media have got a lot to answer for.
Massive amounts to answer for.
Big time.
Massive amounts to answer for, because where's that coming from?
Yeah.
You know, well, see, it's a rough one because the media have a lot to answer for based on what the viewers want to see. So who's out there and who wants to see this shit?
Well, you know what they say. You know what they say. Sex and violence sells.
Even sex doesn't sell that much anymore, mate. I can tell you that coming from a marketing background.
Yeah. Violence sells.
You've got to make an impact, and the impacts are doing something that's really out of the ordinary, that's going to go absolutely viral, doing something that will cause pain or humiliation that people will laugh at somebody, or something that's violent, which generates a reaction. It's about generating reaction. And a lot of that reaction, see, if I walk down the street of St. Mary's right now and I hand a homeless bloke a $5 note and I post that up on Facebook, 20, 30 people will see it. And they'll all comment, hey, you're a great bloke, good on you. Yeah. If I walked down the street, grabbed a brick and threw it through a window of a small business, then nothing more, just broke their window and posted and said, ha ha, have fun waking up tomorrow morning to a breeze in your front door, that would go mental, because people would be looking at it. You'd have people commenting negatively. You'd have people laughing. You'd have people saying they deserved it. You'd have people saying they didn't. But it would go mental.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
is that the media being mean, the media showing something wrong, or is that the media? I think that we've all got something that we need to answer for here, because if we're looking for that sort of news and if we're sharing that sort of news, I think that's what starts to bring it all around.
Yeah, that's a very valid
point. That's it. I mean, exactly like, they can show it on TV, but we're the ones consuming it, and we're the ones wanting more. Give me more stuff. Yeah, who cares about the nice stuff? A bloke, Pete walked down the street and gave someone $5. Who gives a shit? Give me the bag. Oh, he threw a brick through a window. Oh, give me more of that. Yeah. So we do, as a society, have a lot, to answer for, really. So 100%, mate, 100%. And see, again, this is from I'm very lucky with my little community that I've got. Not only this community here online here, but I've had the same group of friends now since we were 13 years old, and we've remained tight. You know what I mean? And we keep each other going. We're always there to uplift each other. And if one of us is down, we all sort of reach out and sort of try to pull the other one back up. And we are very lucky to have that sort of tight knit. And kids today, I don't think they haven't got the same sort of friendships that we had back in the day. Like, you boys have got your groups as well, your groups of mates and stuff. But I just don't think kids today, like I said, it's just such a competition that there might be like little clusters of friends. But man, I'm talking this group here that I'm talking about, my group, there's like 30 of us. At least 30 of us, and we're all still like brothers and sisters. It's a beautiful thing. So
brotherhood's getting lost in the crowd.
That's it, big time.
That's very, very rare to see. Very rare to see. Very blessed. You really are, because to have that many people around you and care about you, and to think, your mum puts it well down the bottom there, to have that wonderful tribe still all together after all these years, and you all respect and accept each other, and you all love each other and all that stuff. I mean, you've got a circle that's this big, mate, but I can tell you, after everything that I've been through and the people that I've still got in my circle's like this.
Amen
I
to
mean,
that, brother.
it's a good place to be in that little circle. It's a great place to be, but it's a very select few that make it in there nowadays because I've got problems with trust, and I've got problems with you let your barriers down, you let the wrong person in, mate. It plays hell with you, and that's why you're very lucky to have such a big circle of wonderful people. And I don't know half of these people that talk here, but they seem like a great bunch of people. And things like this is important. It's very important to have
Again, this little, you know, I mean, those, I mean, they're not. I call them more than friends. They're my family. And when you ask me every Friday night what I'm grateful for, when I say family, they're my family too. These people are my family. These are the ones that have been with me through my worst, seen me at my worst, and they're the ones that have brought the best out of me as well. So, you know, I'm very lucky to have friends like that. And anyone else out there, if you do have that sort of that connection with people, embrace it and attitude for gratitude. Be grateful, you know, be grateful that you have those sort of people in your life, you know.
Most definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Family is not necessarily blood; it's the people you'd bleed for.
That's it. Exactly. That's right. You know what I mean? We need to have more of that. There needs to be much more of that, you know. So, do you want to say something?
I'll say it later.
What did we say later? We're going to go soon. We've been 2 hours and 10 minutes. Whoo, we're getting there.
Let's go for that 2.5 hour mark. We'll make it a record.
Oh, let's keep pushing. Hang on, Michelle. Amelia's got a story.
Okay.
Come a bit closer though, because they can't hear you last time.
Okay. Let me just get the right words.
Speak here so they can hear.
So art came around, and people said to my friend that I was treating everyone like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently all her friends knew because like they're popular, and then they told them that I was treating everyone like a bitch. And I said to you, "Oh, are you okay?" It's like, "Stop being a bitch." I'm like, "I was just asking if you're okay," and she just walks away from me. I'm like, "What the hell did I do?" And everyone just like walks away. I'm like, "Okay, what did I do?"
Yeah. Again, you know, it's just there. It's like a war ground, man. High schools today are like a war ground.
My counselor said that I have automatic negative thoughts.
You have automatic negative thoughts.
Yeah.
A counsellor says she has automatic negative thoughts. So any thought that comes into her head, she goes straight to the negative.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's see, but your counsellor shouldn't be instilling things like that into you. Your counsellor should be trying to support you with positive thoughts.
Yeah, we're not happy with that at all. So.
I wouldn't be happy with that at all. Positive thought out of that is, look, Amelia, you got to remember, let people think what they want to think. What they think is not important to you. If they want to think that about you, congratulations, more power to them. Good for you. Go think that away from me because I don't need your negativity.
The biggest thing you can do to try and get rid of those sorts of things, and it's very, very hard to do. It's probably the most difficult thing to do in the world.
Yeah.
Is when people say don't listen to it, it's not so much a matter of just not listening. You will hear it no matter what, and it will sit with you. But go about your day, do what you need to do, take your own actions, and make sure that you're doing something that you feel is right. Because as you take those actions, they'll have a snowball effect. They'll have a butterfly effect. And people will see your positive actions and will start to look at the negative comments and say, no, they're wrong.
You get that?
Yeah. But the good thing is by lunch, I forgot about it because I was talking to my good friends.
Very good.
It made me happy. So I just
forgot
about that stuff. So.
Like Pete said, you're going to... It's easy to say, "Oh, just don't forget it, don't worry about it."
Yeah.
But you do absorb it. You do hear it.
It's still stuck in your mind.
Of course it is. It sticks in your mind, but you just got to learn to just sort of, like I tell you all the time, people's opinions. Everyone's got one, right? And what people say to you, but it's hot air. It's hot air coming out of their mouth. You know, just constructed into words. It means nothing unless you let it mean something.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right. 100%.
That's a huge part about it. Like, yes, people are going to always be there to knock you down, like we've been talking about all night. but we have a responsibility as well to not let other people's words drag us down. You know,
That's a difficult thing to do.
And it is. You know, we can't control what they're saying. They can say anything, but the only control we have is to shield it and not let it in. Okay, and of course we're going to hear it, but we just don't let it hurt us because it's their opinion. Okay, good girl.
I just got mad and
and you're allowed to get mad. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, get mad. Get mad, get angry.
I was about to stand up and punch one of the guys, and
it's boys picking on girls too.
And I was on a phone call too, and my friends were hearing this. I'm like, I am so sorry that you had to hear all this. Like, I thought I muted myself, and got to a point where I wanted to stand up, grab them, and just punch them. And the fact that the teacher did nothing and just sat there until I defended myself, they reacted.
You got Damien angry then.
I don't know. When you look at it, see, let's take a look at it from a different sort of standpoint. So these guys are saying bad comments about you, and whether they're guys or girls or anybody else, let's just say people. People and students at school are going to say bad comments about you, and they're going to say things like you're a bitch, you're mad, you fight, you're always angry, you're always this, you're always that. If you take that on board and react with those reactions, all you're doing is showing them that you're a bitch and you're angry and you're upset and you fight and you punch and you kill and you do all these things. If they continue saying these things about you, and you do so much as just look at them like the way I'm looking at this camera now and just go, okay, and walk off and let them continue talking. Let them continue.
Because I had enough. I'm like, I don't care what you say about me. F off. And I walked out.
But see, then, like, you just...
I know.
You drag yourself down to their level.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I told you yesterday, you've got to, when you fight back with a bully, they're loving it.
Yeah.
You're just throwing fuel on the fire for yourself to burn.
Yeah.
You know, when you're burning yourself up. If you just, like Pete said, if you just stare them in the face and give them nothing, they will. There's no point picking on this one anymore. She's not giving me anything. I'm off.
Next time, I'm just gonna ignore them till like
Good girl. Awesome.
Okay.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. That's it.
Hey, Jason, look, I do the same thing, mate. I put a wall up, and you have to earn your way in. You really do, because I've been cut down too many times and I've been hurt too many times where I've let people in straight away, and I just get burned for it. Pete, I can look at you right now and say to you one name, and you know who I'm going to say before I even say it, and that's the whole argument for this thing.
Yep. You
know who I'm going to say. I don't even have to say it, right?
I know exactly who it is. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. But
see,
I know exactly what you mean. It makes your walls up. It's hard. It becomes a very difficult situation when you let people in, and this is friends, family, cousins, neighbors, wives, husbands, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, whoever it may be. You let those people in, whether they're family or not. You don't notice it, but you let your mum in, you let your dad in to these circles, and you get hurt. So the first time it hurts, you put up a toll. It's, let's call it $1. We'll call it a brick. And people still get in. So you put up a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth. It gets to a point where that brick wall is so goddamn high and so wide, it's hard for people to get in. So people stop trying. And when people stop trying, they're the ones that were going to just end up falling out.
Yeah.
It's the ones that then crawl above and crawl all the way over, or dig all the way under, walk all the way around and come into that space. If they've fought so hard to be there, why would they screw it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. 100%.
They're the ones worth keeping. That's it. Yeah.
They're the ones worth keeping.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are going to bring you value. They're the ones that are going to bring you good feelings. They're the ones that are going to make you feel worth it.
Big time.
Big time.
100% agree. 100% agree.
And there's an old saying that I heard a while back: never be friends with someone who can't offer you something. And at first I took that in the wrong way, like something you can gain from somebody. You can get something, you know, like you become, excuse me, you become friends with the bloke down at the shop so you can get something half price or something like that. That's the way I took it first off, right?
Mm.
But then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I thought, okay, so for example, I'm friends with Ryan because what I get out of him, I get a friendship, a brotherhood. I feel accepted. It's like a family member, somebody who I never grew up with and I never knew, but we've always been brothers. We've always been mates. We've always been best friends, right? That's what I get out of him. I was forced into being friends with Pete because he married into the family, but it evolved over time. And
I'm friends with Nono for the dumplings.
Yeah, basically, dumplings is our friendship at the moment. But me and Pete became mates because we shared a lot of things, similarities, and I gained from it. Again, like I did with Ryan, but also someone who I can talk to and who I can relate to. And you'll find if you go through your large circle, Ryan, and our circle, Pete, you'll find that everybody that's in that circle has got something to offer you, and you offer something back to them. And that is the basis on what a good friendship is built on.
I love that.
What you can offer to your, I guess, vague community.
Yeah.
You offer something is returned to you, and a friendship and family is built on everything that everybody adds to the pool. Yeah. And in the end, it becomes second nature. Like, for example, if you want an honest and open opinion and you want no fluff, you come and talk to me because I'll give it to you straight. You want a educated and, again, honest response, but more educated than what mine would be, you talk to Ryan. You want to talk to somebody who's lived through life and has got more life experience and things like that, you go and talk to Pete, who knows a bit more about a family thing. You know what I mean? We've all got our own, as Shannon said, mutual respect.
100%.
And everybody's got their own little bit to offer to the greater community, and that's what makes it great.
And the more you've got, the better you have something to offer someone. Again, starts with you. You know, if you love yourself and respect yourself enough, you know, then that's when you can really share with others and really, you know, help others people. Because if you're not down on yourself, you find it hard to sort of project that out again. So again, we're tying it back in with the self-love and the self-worth. The more you love and respect yourself, the more you can. They're the people that everyone wants to be around because they get that you get something from them. You know, you're going to get completely. You'll get that from them. It's in that sort of that sort of personality is infectious.
Of course,
it's completely infectious. So you know, you'd rather be around people like that than be around the negative ones that these poor kids have to be around these days. So
But I also think it's our job as people of that nature, because I think the three of us are people of that nature nowadays.
Big time.
And it's our responsibility to do what we're doing right now, to help the people who feel a bit negative, a bit down, a bit like, oh, I can't take it, it's too much. I'm here to put my hand out and help you. And if you want, as I said, you want an honest opinion about anything, I might seem a bit abrupt, but I know what I say has got a value of truth to it because it does. Like, I mean, and if I'm wrong, call me out on it because I'll learn from you. And that's what you offer to the pool. I offer to the pool my stone cold comments and my abruptness. I mean,
again, that's what we're doing here on Friday nights. We're creating that safe zone, that safe space for people to come on here and feel like if they can't get it out there, we got it here. You know,
that's it. Coming down. That's what. And I don't sit around here and talk for 2.5 hours because I like the sound of my own voice.
Yes,
Ryan,
you do a bit. You do a bit.
But look, I like the fact that we can come on here, have a drink, have a laugh, have a chat, help out whoever needs a helping hand, and then as we said last week, we get off here and we talk for about another 20 minutes about what's happening next, about how good the show was, about how good everything is. And we bring up people's names. Like last week we were talking about Anne-Marie. She's coming on. Yes, that's great. We wanted to be on. Tonight, I can guarantee you there's going to be people's names. Like we'll talk about Jason, we'll talk about Peter again. We talk about everybody, and we sit back and we just reflect on things that we've done. And that, I think, is the start of a great community who is going to have the respect for everybody's opinion, your comments, what you have to offer to the group. And if there are people that are lacking in something that they can't offer, we'll take them, we'll help them, we'll find out what you can offer, and we get on with making the community great.
100%.
100%, mate. I love it.
There's like, what else do you say, really? I mean, we're here to help.
Well, that's it. And that's the whole point of it. We're here to make you out there feel comfortable to be able to share your shit, basically, whatever's going on in your life. Share the shit. There's no point keeping it in.
The 3 shoulders are lined up right now. We've got a very wide set of shoulders. So
that's it. Give it. Don't be a hog. I keep saying it. Don't be a hog. Don't hold the shit in. Let it out. Give it. We can, give it to us. Right?
I think it's cookies and cream ice cream. Just hand it out in droves. Put it on a cone and just there you go.
That's it.
And I truly do hope that now this is because I guess we're coming to the end of it, right?
Yeah.
You trying to drag it out 4 minutes to break a record, Damo, because it's 2:26.
Yeah, I've got 4 minutes worth of chatter, mate. We've got to drag it out a little bit. But no, I really do. And if everybody could just put it up in the comments. I mean, as Ryan said, Ryan's been here for 8 weeks. So I'm just a ring in. But if we could really get, what have you guys learned or taken away from this? What have we helped you with? What is something that you couldn't talk about, but now because of this, because of, where is he? That guy there, you can now. What's something that you can talk about that you couldn't talk to anybody else about before? Have we helped you? Do you tune in every week to watch us guys talk about it? What? Just tell me. Just let me know. Let us know what we've done and how we've helped. Put it down in the comments. There you go. Anne-Marie's not alone. You're not, and none of yous are. Hell, we've all been there. Whatever you're going through, we've been there.
That's it.
It's you're not the only one. Yeah, you're not.
We take nothing away from everyone's experience. Everyone experiences things different, but that's, again, we are all here. We all experience things in our own way, but we all experience them together in another way. So we've got another one here. It's a great platform for people to get something from, but it also cathartic for people. And there you go. Thank you, Firsty. Love that. Thank you very much. And that's again the main reason why I created this 8 weeks ago was I didn't know what to do. I knew that people out there were struggling, not only with COVID, but with life in general. And there was no safe zone for people. This is why, and again, I just thought I'd get on for that one day and be talking to nobody. But all of you people out there have built this up to what it is today. So everyone should be tapping themselves on the back because you're all a part of this. All right, as we've been saying tonight, we've created this village for you, for me, for Damien, for Peter, for Amelia, for everyone, for Anne-Marie, for Michelle from last week, everyone. We've created this together. I better shut up now because, my God, they're flying in now.
This is what I want.
Yep.
Jason's there.
Love that one. We've got another one here from Jason.
I've never outspoken my thoughts on any forum before. See, that's perfect. That's what I'm looking for. So, Jason, this is a place for you to just let it go, mate. Open the floodgates and let's go. Let's go. Just open them up, mate. Let's go. And you know what?
Jason actually wants to come on in a couple of weeks' time, so we're going to get Jason on. We're going to definitely 100%. We're going to get him to come on.
100%.
So, Jason, get ready, mate. Get ready. You're going to be on here. Listen, whenever you're ready, champ. All right, I'm not going to force you to come. And that's the thing. Again, I'm putting it out there for everybody. Anyone who wants to come on here and be involved and be on here, please do. But when you are ready, because I know it's one thing to come on here and, like Jason said, he's never been able to, participate in a forum like this. And it's one thing to write comments. It's another thing to actually come on here and share your story like Peter's doing tonight. And I appreciate you coming on tonight, Pete, having a chat with us. That's been awesome. But it's tough for some people. It really is. So, Jason, and anyone else, when you're ready, please send Damien or I a message, or send the page a private message and say, look, I'd love to come on and have a chat. Again, it doesn't have to be for the whole time. If you're only confident to give us 10, 15, 20 minutes, beautiful. But when we are opening this, because this is your page, okay? This is for you, okay? So anyone who wants to come on, if you feel comfortable enough to come on and have a chat, we invite anybody to come on here, okay? It's a safe place.
You can all ask Anne-Marie. I mean, I know she was absolutely shitting a brick to get on here, but she came in and it was easy. Trust me.
Get rid of her. Couldn't get rid of her. You know what I mean? But we love you, Mary Ann. We want you back on again. So I mean, that's
I remember the first night I come on here and I was packing it big time.
You were.
And after I came on, I even spoke to Ryan about it. I'm like, dude, what do I do? What do I talk about? What do I say? Oh no, what? And he's like, relax, take a breather, and just talk. And now that you can't
shut him up for 2.5 hours.
We made it, Ryan. 2.5 hours.
You are in my tribe, and I love you very much. I love you very, very much, and I feel privileged that you're in my tribe, and I'm your friend. The honour is mine, Kirsty. Another one who's in my tribe. I love you. I love you very much, Carls, and I'm proud of you for coming on here each week. Again, guys, you guys make a choice every Friday night. You don't have to come onto this, and you don't have to sit here and watch this for 2.5 hours. There's plenty of awesome stuff on TV that you could watch, but again, you choose to come here and be a part of this. You know what I mean? It's just so good. What do you guys want with your head out? There's some good stuff on TV. Some good stuff.
No, there's nothing on TV.
Yeah, no, it's
there's no MasterChef on Friday, so there's no good TV on.
I'm not talking. Yeah, free to air is pretty shitty, but like Netflix, there's heaps of good stuff. Netflix,
Yeah.
But again, choose to come here and you spend your Friday nights here, and I love it. I just feel so humbled. I really do. I really, all these beautiful things you're saying, I really love it. It's so good.
We really do appreciate it, guys.
Really do. And yeah, Anne-Marie, Friday night, TV is shit. My mum's saying good night. Good night, Mum.
Night, Mum.
Good night.
Love you. See you tomorrow, hopefully. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, boys. Well, we did it. 2:33 and counting. Beautiful. Pete, thank you so much, mate, for your time tonight. Really appreciate it, buddy.
It was a pleasure, Ryan. Thank you very much.
Oh, mate, anytime.
I can most comfortably say that Peter will be a repeat guest.
Yeah, quite easily.
100%. 100%. Definitely, mate. So thank you very much for that. Anne-Marie, again, and for you, thank you so much for coming on here tonight. Again, like Damien said, I know it was very hard for you. I actually asked you about 4 weeks ago, and you just came blatantly, no way, sorry, no, I can't do it. And
then what happened?
Look what's happened. You know what I mean? Just getting that confidence every week. It's just, and it's not me, it's you. We sit here and we're sort of guiding you, okay? But you guys are the ones running the race. you guys are the ones that are in control of your own mental health. You know, we're here, we're just holding your hand. It's you guys are the ones that are taking the lead in this. So I love it. You know, it's thank you, every single one of you. We could just sit here all night because now there's more people on now. I can't believe it. More people are jumping on now.
Don't worry, mate. We still got. We can push this out as far as we want. We're in PB territory now. We sure are, mate. Personal best territory. Look, Jason, thank you, mate. It's a pleasure for you to help us with everything that you've spoken about tonight and everything that you've said. It helps. I mean, and look, as Ryan said, we are the fire. You guys are the fuel. We'll just keep on burning through everything that you guys talk to us about. And I mean, as you said, there's plenty of other things you could be doing on a Friday night, but you tune in to listen to me and this guy over here. And it's great and wonderful. Hello.
I think you've got a new name for this thing now. It's going to be called 2 Hours with Tanti.
Yeah, there you go. Hey.
I like that. I think
Ryan,
because,
put a patent for that.
My first week was the only one under 2 hours, so every other week just been blowing out, and I'm sort of sitting here going, looking at that clock, going, all right, it's 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, and there's people still on. Now we're starting to drop off a bit now. All right, okay, cool. So now I think they're giving us the wind up now. But yeah, just before we go, Anne Marie, she will do it again. Beautiful, thank you, awesome. I'd love to have you on again, 100%. So yeah, guys, we'll wrap it up here. Again,
all right, before we wrap it up, say goodnight to Pete and get rid of him.
All right, Pete, love you, mate. Love your work. Thank you so much for coming on, buddy. Really appreciate it, mate.
Talk to you, Pete. I'll talk to you tomorrow, mate. All right.
No worries.
See you, mate.
All right. Well, that was. Oh, I need a bit of a stretch after that one. That was awesome, man. What a good show that was, eh?
Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing really well. And again, I can't say it enough, guys, but thank you all very much. It's humbling. It really is.
All right. Well, do you want to say goodnight together, or I might even get rid of you so I can say goodnight by myself? That's a bit slack, isn't it? But see, I love this thing I can do. See, I can do this, and then I can bring him back. See?
Disappointment on his face.
Not happy. Gone?
Amelia,
Yeah.
can you do me a favour? You won't get in trouble for this. Just lean over and smack him in the back of the head.
Oh,
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.
good night, Carly.
Good night, Carly.
You quickly say your thing, and then I'm gonna do my regular sign off, mate.
That's all right. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it. As I said, it's very humbling. And tune in on Wednesday. We'll have another update.
And I might just. I have a little. I wasn't gonna do this, but I got a surprise for you next week. All right. So whether I do it on Tuesday for you or whether I do it on Wednesday, but I've something up my sleeve.
I'm scared.
But I've got a surprise for you. So stay tuned, all right? Please stay tuned. So as I say every week, can't rain all the time. Love ya. Be good.
Good night.
Treat each other well.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye, guys. Bye.